lovely people. It is Tuesday, the 30th of August. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. You are hosted by the best people in the game, okay? And I am one of your hosts, my own royalty.
It's your boy Big Man Use, the Oracle, the voice of reason, Mr. Rotation.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist. TDA producer, news analyst. Melanin jam-packed.
All right then.
Sometimes you have to take your time.
Yeah, you really took your time.
Yeah.
You really did.
That's it.
How's everyone doing there? How's everyone's weekend?
It was good, you know.
Bank holiday weekend. What did we get up to?
Carnival yesterday and Saturday I was chilled. Sorry,
Okay.
Sunday I was chilled. Sunday,
Okay.
Yeah. Friday chilled. I'm confused. How many days were there?
Friday
Friday,
recorded.
yeah.
Okay, so Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Saturday, Sunday chilled. Monday Carnival.
Okay, nice.
Okay. What was Carnival saying?
I'm the wrong person to ask. My Carnival experience wasn't Carnival.
What did you do?
Okay.
So my girl was playing maths, so I went to drop her off
Okay.
in the morning. So I drove to Carnival, hour. Drove back home, hour. Then chilled for a bit. Then I thought, I was gonna go back with my boys. My boy who I was
Okay.
going to go with dropped out, cancelled on me. So I thought I had to go back anyway to give my girl a dress. So I was going back just for that.
Yeah.
But then I hollered out my other boys who were there. I thought, where are you? Let me link up with them, man.
Link up,
Obviously,
okay.
finding people at Carnival was a mission.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me about an hour and a half to find them. Reception
Bloody
was
hell.
mad.
I would have been angry.
Then after I found them, walking around for a bit, it was not really my thing.
Yeah, because you've been walking around for an hour and a half.
And then my girl was tired, wanted to leave, went to find her, and finding her was another mission because she's on one of the floats.
Float
and that.
things. Okay.
Found her, then walked around trying to find our way out, which was another mission. Then trying to
You
get,
said you
trying to
knew
get
you could come
Uber
in.
was another mission. So all in all, it was a shit day.
Bloody hell.
And I'm gonna keep it very honest with you. It was a shit day.
You should have chilled. You
It
should have
wasn't fun.
chilled.
But I was on some boyfriend duties. That's why I was
No,
there.
you really. No,
I
honestly,
literally went to give her a dress. That's why I went.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
commend you that's a great boyfriend over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that home if it wasn't for that.
That is you are a great boyfriend because that's the ordeal you had.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Esther?
What did I do? I just chilled this weekend. What did I do on Saturday? Saturday I chilled. I went gym, just chilled. Sunday had a cute lunch. Chilled, but not in my house. Chilled someone else's house.
Okay.
And then Monday I just chilled again.
I feel like you said that for a reason.
No, because you know I was in my house the whole weekend.
Okay.
So the most outing I did,
Okay, was visiting someone else.
yeah, was go on a date and then go to a person's house and
Okay.
then return back to my home.
Okay.
But I wanted to have a chill week. I was meant to go away. So my friend's currently away. So I had a key to her apartment. And she lives in like deep in Kent.
Okay.
So I was going to do like a little eat, pray, love kind of weekend and, you know, read a book and log out of social media, go for walks. She lives like by the sea. So it was really going to be a whole thing. But I just didn't want to do that drive up there. It's only like 40 minutes. But when I think of the motorway, I just think, oh. And I was just too tired. I said, let me just stay in my bed. So I literally just had a very chilled weekend. I feel very well rested. So I'm very, very glad.
So you've got the energy to start trouble this week.
Absolutely. I'm fired up. Even when I got in here this morning, Brent thought I still wasn't talking to him. So just context for listeners, I had to put Brent on timeout. Like, I had to put him on timeout. He deserved it. But he thought I was going to come in here and smoke. But no, I'm chilled.
Why'd you put him on timeout?
So I put Brent on timeout because Brent has a problem accepting love from people. And I'm a giver of love, okay? And Brent is my brother. He's my brother. He's my employer. He's the one that I like to annoy, but I can confide in him. So, Jeremy, Brent holds a lot of positions in my life, right? So sometimes I just want to give, just be caring towards Brent, but he has a problem accepting it. And so the care I wanted to show Brent, he turned it into a negative. And I told him, this is the last time I'm going to think about you and care for you. I'm still, even though we're talking now, I'm still kind of, it's on a sticky note. I may or may not.
I think they want some context.
Context of what?
Here we go.
I'm not getting one context, okay? Sorry, you should have signed up to the live back then. You would have got context. I'm not going deeper into it. Because if I rehash it, the wound's going to open up and I am Zen-S today. So anyways, so when I came in this morning, Brent thought I wasn't talking to him, but I gave him a nice hug. Didn't I, Brent?
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. And you missed my hugs?
Yes.
Of course he has. So that was nice. So
See, this is the blueprint people need to see in the black community.
yeah, coming together.
Coming together.
An African
forgiveness.
who loves last,
Mm-hmm.
and a Caribbean
You like soca?
who likes soca. We came together.
There you go.
That's what's important in this society.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I heard lots of Afro beats at Carnival, by the way.
Yeah, I saw a video.
Everyone went, wow.
I saw a video where they were singing last,
Isn't
like Brenner was paying them to
I heard about 5 songs back to back.
look at that.
Gosh.
And,
There was a whole
and the Caribbeans were loving it.
there was a whole Afrobeat section I saw as well.
I didn't even see the Amapiano on stage. I just heard the Afro beats.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. We came together. I think people had fun. It looked really nice.
Yeah.
The girls were looking nice. Yeah, the girls were looking nice. Like I said, I didn't really peep the men. My eyes are blind. I can't
Okay.
see.
I saw people falling from bus stop.
Ooh,
Yeah.
how is the girl in the blue? Can we check? Like, honestly, if she's got any friends out there, they need to check on her.
Mm.
Because you know what is it? Okay, I have this thing in life here. We're going to get to Iman's weekend because Iman was stunting the suit over the weekend. We'll get to that. But like, I have this thing where sometimes I just think that, you know when an accident happens, yeah?
Mm.
But there's one person it just misses.
Yep.
I just think, wow, you're God's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
This girl was on the other side. It's when she decided to like walk under.
Mm.
Do you know her neck did this? And
Christ.
then she dropped.
That's horrible, man. Horrible.
Nah, check on the girl in the blue, man. That was horrible.
Horrible.
That was just horrible. And there was one guy as well, yeah, who did not need to be on there. Basically, I think he'd fallen off or something, yeah. But he kept trying and trying and trying to get. The third time God said, gone. And then as soon as he got there, he was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because as soon as that man got up there, it just
You see?
collapsed.
Oh, sometimes you have to know when to
Just know
bow
when
out.
to give up. You wanted to do too much. It's crazy, man. But I hope
Oh,
people
man.
that fell out, okay, it was
Mm-hmm.
it's damn crazy.
Yeah,
But
it's
Iman,
good,
how
man.
was your weekend?
Oh, it was quiet. It was just
Something like.
yeah.
Now, Iman, you were living your bestest life.
I was trying to bring the TDA community with me, man.
No, we saw it.
Thank you.
You look really good as well.
Thank you
All
very much.
suited up.
I try, man. I try
Looking
to
like the
represent
groom.
us.
That's because I feel like when people talk about weddings, yeah,
Mhm.
you always just assume that like women can go and outshine the bride.
Mm.
No one ever thinks about the groom.
It's true, you know.
Because you were in there
I have to cause
in like
disruption.
a cream suit. I think what if the what's it called? The groom decided to wear black.
Mm.
Now the guest is looking better than you.
There'll be confusion.
Crazy, man.
What do we say at TDA? Disturb everything.
Absolutely.
know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
But how was it though?
It was fantastic. Man. Yeah, it was really good, man.
That's good.
Amazing location.
Yeah.
It was in like Regent Street.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, so it was, what's
fancy.
the name of the hotel? Langham Hotel.
That deposit must be mad.
Yeah, it definitely must have been.
Wow.
But yeah, it was amazing, man. Really,
That's
really
good.
nice. It was a perfect part 2 to the
To
track.
the- yeah.
Yeah.
Did they cater to your veganism?
They did.
That's good.
They did. Yes. What did I have? I had like, it was like one of these big bell pepper things.
Oh yeah.
And it had like rice and beans inside.
Oh,
of
like
it,
stuffed and pepper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There you go. I wanted to get jollof as well, innit? But I thought I can't be here with 2 plates.
Can you have jollof as a vegan? Iman?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like you're in denial.
No. Let's not explore that.
Yeah,
That's
let's
all
not.
right.
Do you know? Let's not. Yeah,
I'm
let's not.
joking, I'm
Sorry,
joking.
I'm curious.
There we go, bro.
Of course you are.
Why is it not possible?
Because you could definitely. I mean, I know you can definitely look up the recipe, but
No, do you know it's some people make it differently. So some people use
chicken
like
stock,
chicken stock.
Brent.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people use vegetable stuff.
There you go.
But you don't know, you don't ask.
What are you talking about? No.
Not our vegan correspondent being outed.
Yes, vegan.
Do you know what? To be honest, I think if I was vegan, there's certain things I would have to give grace to.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, come on. Like, what more
So
do you want from me now at this point?
And remember, it's not because, respectfully to the vegan community, it's not because. Look, my priority is not the animals, and it's not saving the planet. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It's about my health.
Yeah, okay,
So,
yeah. So,
you know
bit
what
of
I'm
jollof
saying?
doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Doesn't-
Can
and
you have
plus-
moi moi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just have to kind of know what the surprise is inside of it.
Listen, let me read this tweet because they were talking about moi moi over the weekend, yeah. And I put a tweet up yesterday and they finished me. The guy said, moi moi is such an interesting food because you never know what's going to be inside. Is it fish? Is it boiled egg? Is it stone? Exciting.
It's so-
No, because honestly, Brent, you can find anything in there.
Anything.
Wow.
You don't know. You don't know. It could be corned beef in there.
Yep.
It could be a whole egg. Like, can we crush these things up? Like, come on, man. Moi moi is very exciting though. I love it.
Yeah, same. I remember even at, because basically at the trad they had it as well.
Yeah.
And I was there holding up the queue asking the guy, what's inside of
What?
this?
No, because honestly, tell me.
I had to ask him like 4 or 5 times. I say, you sure? Don't be, you know what I'm saying?
My friend was
But
saying
yeah.
she put up the post and Mel said it's basically like a Kinder egg.
Yeah.
It's a Kinder surprise.
surprise.
You actually
Yeah.
do not know what the flip is going to be in there. It's exciting. It's good food.
Yes, it is.
Okay, is that all you got up to the weekend, just wedding?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah?
Yeah, the day after was recovery.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, you got recovery. Brent, how was your weekend, sir?
My weekend was cool. What did I do? I
What did you do?
a lot of work. I did a lot of editing.
You just worked.
Yeah, I actually went to barbecue. I went to.
Oh, did you? Oh, nice.
I went to a friend of Danielle's. That was just down the road from Danielle's house.
Okay, pick up
They
Danielle.
live in a beautiful house.
No, there's houses over there, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, mad.
One day.
What?
So one day.
One day.
I'm wondering when you've been to. Never mind.
Well, Danielle's house.
Yeah.
We had a photo shoot there.
Okay, but you didn't walk around the place.
I did.
I'll talk to you afterwards.
No, you won't. We got nothing to talk about.
All right. Anyway.
I don't like you.
Anyway.
You are on the cusp of the
Anyway, I was telling Iman yesterday that just I have to basically be baiting because that house was wavy. It had 3 floors from the front.
Oh wow.
When you went in, there were 2 floors beneath the ground
Stop it.
level. They had an elevator in there, right?
An elevator.
At the bottom floor, they had what looked like a full-length swimming pool. It was that big.
Oh wow.
But it wasn't a full length. But it was miles away.
Yeah.
There was a spa and there was a steam room, right? And then they had like a gym room, fully equipped.
Yeah.
And they had a garden, but I thought the garden was rubbish.
Yeah.
And then I realized that was just a little bit of grass.
As a pathway.
Yeah.
Before the garden.
Yeah.
And the garden had a football pitch in
Stop
it.
it.
Can you imagine?
And a lodge attached to the football pitch. Are you listening? Right? This is just in Loughton. And then they had solar panels across the mountain.
Yeah.
A whole group of them. But that place, I need to be rich as soon as possible.
Listen,
As
Mhm.
soon
the
as
new black.
possible. Bloody hell.
I need that new black money.
For real.
That's what I need.
People get your subscriptions up.
We'll
Also,
go to
sorry,
barbecue.
Brett, how do I get into it so I can read the comments?
All right, I'm figuring it out right now. So I'm going to send the link to everybody in the group.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully they can click that link and it will go to the regular.
The
program.
regular, yeah.
I think because you clicked it within the app,
Okay,
it's just
okay.
streaming from within the app
Okay.
Yeah.
as opposed to you going to YouTube.
Yeah.
You can probably just click the share
Mm.
from within that app
Yeah.
to then go to YouTube. But let me try and make it easier. Obviously, this will inform me as to what to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
obviously there's a bit of confusion. A lot of people don't even know where the link is, how to access it.
Yeah.
But we're working.
That's right. We'll figure it out.
But it's why it is that we've said the first month is free, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Looking at the kinks.
So exactly.
This is it.
Exactly.
I apologize.
Also, shout out to Flavor. He's a TDA listener that I met at Carnival yesterday.
Oh, nice. Big up Flavor.
Flavor, man.
Is it Nigerian? Sounds
Yeah.
Igbo.
I never asked. Well, to be fair, his name's Flavor, so he could be anything. No,
How can you say it could be anything?
because that's not his real name.
Is that his real name?
I'm assuming.
People's
not.
names are real. There's an artist called Flavor.
I'm
Is it-
assuming
is
that's
it
his,
what?
I'm
It's an
assuming
artist.
That's his
Your
tag.
real name? It can't be.
Let me check. Because he's Nigerian. You know the one that does that
If it is your real name, Flavor, I apologize.
Flavor real name. I know that man is called. Because you know Igbo people, one thing about them, they're going to call you God's favor. God's favor, God's goodness.
That's true, actually. You're right.
Okay, his real name is not that. But I feel like it could be.
No, I didn't say favor.
You said flavor.
Flavor.
Yeah.
Oh.
As in the flavor of this food is nice. Yeah. He calls himself Mr. Flavor. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's the stage name, but I don't put anything past Igbos. Their names are God's destiny. God, like their names are prayers.
Yeah, 100%. But you know, funny enough, it's basically what a lot of African tribes do anyway, but just in English.
Yeah. But it's funny. I feel like when it's in the language,
exactly, it doesn't sound.
Like, it's rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it's in English,
like a sentence.
It's a sentence. It's a quote.
Exactly.
Oh dear. But yeah, guys, you know me. I have 3 rules for you guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the video you're watching, and of course, join our community because we've got people watching us live at the moment. We can't read the comments just yet. We're figuring that out. But shout out to you guys who are watching us live and who have signed up to the TDA backstage access. That's what we're calling it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Lovely. All right. So also just to let you guys know, to join the community, if you would like to be part of this family, type into your browser community.thenewblack.com. You guys know black is spelled with an X. And just to let you know, this is the only place you'll be able to watch us live and connect deeper with the TDA community. So right after the live show every single day, the host, us, will join the live show viewers in the day after instant reaction topic. So in this room of TDA in our TDA community, we have a day after instant reaction. So we have is that topics of the whatever we talk about, isn't it, every day?
So yeah, so it's like a thread, yeah, like a little forum part, and then each time it is that we have a show, inviting them to basically come and give their hot takes there. So that's where we will populate all the conversation. Just afterwards. So I'm trying to kind of funnel the conversation to a particular place. So that's where we go each time.
Nice.
As opposed to being chaotic.
Okay, yeah. So you guys join the community.thenewblack.com, and then get on the day after backstage. Get the day after backstage access. Sorry, I don't know what my English is doing.
Can I just say that everyone's still sleeping?
I'm awake.
No, I'm talking about
the viewers.
Oh.
They're doing recovery.
If you click on the link, you'll understand what I mean. Right?
Oh, is it? Okay, I'll come back to that. But yeah, so that way you can let us know your thoughts and opinions and, you know, what we talked about. And one thing about y'all have some opinions. So definitely join that. And then tomorrow, Brent will be introducing another technical production update to the live streams. Okay. And the video that drops every weekday at 7 p.m. on YouTube. So be on the lookout for it. I don't think you have to be on the lookout because I don't think you're going to miss it.
That's right.
I don't think you're going to miss it. But yeah, also, you guys know our babes, Marks, is currently not here. But Marks is taking his birthday celebration to an extreme, which I think is a bit ironic. Because when I came here talking about I went on another birthday brunch, he was like, you're doing the most. Yet, here he is, still doing birthday celebrations. So Mark is currently away. He's actually jetting away for 10 days.
Enjoy
10 whole days. What I want to say to you guys, if you knew of Marks before this, which you would have, and you saw when Marks went to Cancun, and you're watching his stories, I would just say you don't want to miss these stories. Yeah, because one thing about Marks, he's going to give you the content. And he's going to have fun. So we'll be back on the show once he returns. We'll let that be a surprise and let you know how we love a surprise over here.
That's it, exactly.
And we'll let that be. All right, so ready to get into the show?
I am indeed.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so the first headline is about the carnival. Okay. So for the first time since the pandemic, Adults' Day at Notting Hill Carnival returned to the streets of West London. It was 3 days of excitement and joy for most as people across the world made their way west to join in on the festivities. Close to 1 million people in attendance were shaking their legs as they moved through the streets, with sound systems booming from all directions. At 3 p.m, a group of people stopped in 72 seconds of silence by the parade marking the 72 lives lost in the Grenfell Tower fire 5 years ago. Among the group were the first firefighters to arrive at the scene, alongside survivors and campaigners. A large number of people in the most colourful of costumes adorned the streets, determined to make up for lost time and make sure the vibe and spirit of Carnival was as strong as ever. London Mayor Sadiq Khan said, "As a Londoner, I'm really pleased Carnival's back." He said Carnival was celebrating Caribbean culture, heritage, and history, and there was a pent-up demand for festivities this year. The Met Police said there had been 76 arrests for a variety of different offences by 7 a.m. on Monday, and unfortunately, by the end of the day, that number increased. Police also confirmed the person had been killed, and there were a number of serious stabbings and other violence that took place. As a result, a Section 60 order was imposed in and around the area of the Carnival at 9:24 yesterday until 1 a.m. this morning. It allows police to stop and search someone without suspicion. Unfortunately, the person who died was stabbed. Officers.
I actually saw the aftermath of one of the stabbings.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame, man.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Sadiq Khan is cheeky with that. What is he? They made the mayor, innit?
Yes, he is.
Probably didn't even know it was you.
Okay. And the next headline is basically we're off to the moon, man.
Who's we?
We.
I like to stay on Earth where God put me.
Well, not as soon as NASA would have liked. So today would have been a big day for NASA, as of yesterday, it was counting down to the liftoff of its giant new moon rocket, the Space Launch System, SLS. So SLS is the most powerful vehicle ever developed by NASA and will be the foundation of its Artemis project, which aims to put people back on the lunar surface after a 50-year absence. The moon mission will lay groundwork for flights to Mars in the 2040s. The rocket was timed to go out from the Kennedy Space Center at 8:33 local time on Monday, basically around the time TDA go live. However, NASA called it off because controllers struggled to get an engine on the vehicle to cool down to its correct operating temperature.
Boy.
They had previously worried about what appeared to be a crack high up on the rocket, but eventually determined it was merely frost built up. This flight, part of NASA's Artemis program, was just meant to be a demonstration with no one on board. But ever more complex missions are planned for the future that will see people live on the lunar surface for weeks at a time. This will have been a disappointment to hundreds of thousands of spectators who gathered on the local beaches and causeways to see the most powerful rocket in 50 years fly skyward. But NASA say the cautious approach was the right one. A spokesperson said, "We don't launch until it's right." And I think it's just illustrative that this is a very complicated machine and a very complicated system. And all those things have to work. And you don't want to light the candle until it's ready to go. NASA has the option to try again on Friday if the engine issue can be resolved by then. However, if controllers have to roll the rocket back to Kennedy's assembly building to swap out the engine, it will introduce several weeks delay.
Boy, if that was me, I'd be like, don't rush to fix the engine. Make sure it's fixed properly.
100%, man. There's no point in just it going up and then failing 10 minutes later.
I always think, actually, no, but there's no one in the rocket though, is there?
No.
That's right then. Actually, no, but then
It's a lot of money.
drops on people's heads.
There you go.
Yeah.
But still, it's a lot of money, man. And it'll just delay everything further and, yeah.
What is the point of these things? What are we trying to achieve by going to the moon? Because that's a lot of money that we could really use on Earth.
That is very true.
That is true, actually.
Do you get me? Like, what are we trying to achieve? There's a cost of living crisis going on. Inflation's moving mad. Interest rates about to sky up. And we're testing rockets to go to the moon. Like, what are we looking for there?
What if there's people there?
They'll be all right. If they've been there, if they've been there this long, they are fine. And I don't think, because how did they get there? It's not as if, Jeremy, it's not like a wrecked ship.
You never know.
If they're there for a purpose.
But what if
they don't need rescuing?
What if they went there, let's say about, 10,000 years ago, yeah?
Yeah. And they're stuck.
They're
dead. Who lives for 10,000 years?
Let's just say they survive somehow, but they just don't have the technology to get back to Earth.
I'll be honest with you, yeah. As soon as they touch Earth, yeah, they're going to die.
Why?
Because they've been used to the conditions up in the moon. If you can live 10,000 years, you don't want to be down here.
But they got spacesuits. So when they come, they'll
Eels
be
can't
right.
stink. So the germaphobe in me is dying. That's nasty. I think we should everyone just focus on where you're at. And where I'm at is the ground and we'll stay there.
Have you seen a film called, no, it's not a film, it was a series, yeah. To be honest, it doesn't get much ratings, but I enjoyed it, right? It's called The Event. Have you heard of it? Yeah, I thought so. Basically, I think it only got one season.
One season?
Yeah, it got one season, cool. Yeah. Basically, yeah. The whole premise is you got these people, even from another planet. Their planet is it's pretty much the same old story, innit? Their planet, the resources are going, this, that, and the third, and they obviously need to try and find somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
So, like, they can kind of, I wouldn't say they can shapeshift as such, but they can kind of mimic, I guess, the organisms on the planet they're going to.
Okay.
Being Earth, right?
Okay.
So when they came to Earth, they just look like human beings, right? Yeah.
So you can't tell that they're from
not at all.
else?
Not at all. Unless, for example, let's just say you went to school with somebody.
Yeah.
And then you saw them 100 years. Let's just say, you went to school with them. You got to 80, you saw them in the supermarket and they look like exactly how they was in school. Because they don't age like us.
They don't age.
Yeah, it was one of those ones.
That's weird.
And so basically the whole plan was to kind of infiltrate into certain areas of society.
Yeah.
So that they can then, I guess, kind of make human beings kind of like aim all the science, the technology, the resources towards saving and discovering that planet that they're actually from. So basically, it's all a whole plan to basically get everyone to care about where they're from, if that makes sense.
I see why they didn't get renewed for a second season. Because it sounds too complicated. We just want to laugh and cry on Earth.
I'm not doing it justice, but it wasn't that bad, trust me. And it's just crazy because it just shows how people can kind of just come from a particular background, right?
Yeah.
Culture, country, and have, like that show called The Americans? You know it? But you know The Americans, isn't it?
Probably. Yes. The two...
The couple. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And they were part of the FGB. Huh?
FSB?
Yes, they changed the name
it?
to that. Yeah.
Okay.
The Russian Secret Services, basically.
Okay.
The equivalent of the CIA. Anyway, I don't know why I've gone up today. But basically, the whole thing is basically all these people having a particular plan.
Yeah.
And no matter how good the friendships are and the networks that they kind of forge with people on Earth, they were still loyal to that initial plan. So even in this entire thing, right, the president's wife was an alien. But he didn't know. And when basically they had this particular law saying we need to test every single person, he was like, no, you're not testing my wife. That's ridiculous. That's an insult. He didn't want it done to his, because he trusted her. Each time she was an alien.
I don't know why you did all of this. That was not necessary. It's start of the week. So don't let this be your story.
I don't know why I've gone on this topic.
But someone said that someone in the live comments said they're trying to see if we can live elsewhere other than Earth.
There you go.
I think he who wants to live elsewhere should be the one to contribute to it. Is this taxpayers' money that's used for these experiment things?
I'm not too sure. I think a lot of these things are private, to be fair.
Oh, that's right then.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then.
I think Elon Musk's one is definitely his own private stuff, I think.
Oh, yeah, would be though. He's at the type. All right. Well, still talking about the moon. Let's just get into our What You Sayin topic of the day.
Okay. So the question is for today, are we going to the moon again? Or did it not happen the first time anyway? So basically, in 1969, as we all know, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, all them guys over there, took their first steps on the moon. That's what they tell us and stuff. And it ushered in a golden era of space exploration. The Apollo program transformed how we see the planet and ourselves. You had the Russians, you had the Americans fighting to see who basically be first to kind of leave the atmosphere and explore new territory, right? Mm-hmm. So 50 years on, the moon is now in humanity's sights again, right? And for those who never got to witness the Apollo missions for themselves, the hope is that this new Artemis project that we just spoke about will inspire a new generation. The new mission, however, is going to be different. So this one, they want to actually prioritize getting the first woman into space. Mm-hmm. On the moon. And they also want to try and get the first person of color on the moon. Kind of showing that, space exploration is open to everybody.
Yeah.
There's no discrimination in space. You know what I'm saying? All of this is stupid Earth crap, right? Mm. Cool. So the question is, anyway, do you buy this in the first place? That this is something that's real? Mm. Do you feel like it's a potential distraction? Right? Secondly, should this even be happening? It's to kind of touch on this already. Mm. Should we be prioritizing other things? Things of that nature. Do you think we even went there in the first place? Mm. Right? And yeah.
I'll start with, do I think if we went there in the first place? Probably not.
Yeah.
Because in my eyes, why would there even be any rumours if we actually went?
What, rumours of us not going?
Yeah. Like, why would those even exist? Why are there questions? Because there's holes. So, no, I don't believe they went to the moon. But also, I don't understand what's the benefit of faking it. So, like, what was the benefit? Was it like, I don't know, did whoever was first, Russia or USA, did you win a prize or something? Like, you know what I mean? What was the actual point of pretending to go to the moon in the first place?
Did they take pictures when they went up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some people believe it was taken in the studio.
Yeah. I feel like
now I'm thinking of the image. It does look like it's very studio-ish.
They went on holiday.
Yeah. What
they laid low.
Was them walking around in the video? Isn't there any?
Yeah, there's footage. It's actual like movement and all that.
They
all that as well.
bring back a piece of the moon.
I believe they brought back some. Yeah, I think they did. You know, I need to double check.
A what?
Like some dust from the surface.
A dust that you can find outside.
But you might not be able to find it outside. It may be different minerals.
That's what it'll tell us.
That's what it'll tell you. Different minerals. I can get sugar, mix it with dirt outside, and say, "Look, I found this on Jupiter." Like, what's this?
It's actually crazy. Yeah, I don't believe that we went there in the first place. I thought they probably went somewhere.
It's connected there. Why do you think we didn't go there?
Laid low for a little bit. Brent, I have trust issues when it comes to scientists and what they be telling people. We know this.
Natasha M said faking it would show that they're the most powerful country.
All right.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
All right. Cool. So what was that again?
Faking it
would show that they are the most powerful country.
That's the benefit of them lying.
Showing that they went to the moon.
Yeah.
Show that they're
all right. Do you know how many countries were racing to go to the moon first?
No.
There were, I think, 3: China, Russia, and USA. Right? Or was it just Russia and USA? Whatever. So let's just say one of them faked it. Wouldn't the other country let everybody know that they were lying? If there was a race to go to the moon.
And maybe that's where this rumor came from.
No, do you know what it is? I don't think they would yet, because I feel like with a lot of countries here, they all have secrets for each other. So if you tell on me on this one, I'm going to tell you on something else.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as they race each other and want to do wherever it is, ultimately, they're all in cahoots together.
So like a cabal.
I don't know what that means.
Like a union between countries.
Yeah, I feel like ultimately countries always protect them. Like the powers that be will always protect themselves. And these countries, as much as they might have wars and whatever, if they can do something that benefits all of them, they will do that. They're their priority. So I feel like you saying that, you know, you guys are lying, you didn't go to the moon, knowing that none of them are going to go to the moon anyway. But if you guys said you went to the moon, if I had to go out now and say you didn't go to the moon, I'd just say, well, actually, this is what you guys do, and this. Do you know what I mean? They might let its secrets out.
And also, that's what they meant to say. If you're 3 countries competing for the same goal, and your opposition, you know, fakes it or not, from the public's perspective, if you come out and say, "Oh, they're pretending," we're like, "Well, you're going to say that, aren't you? Because they're ops."
Yeah,
and it opens a lot of
question. Do you think there are space stations up there?
Space stations up there, what, on the moon or just in space?
No, not on the moon, in space.
Where is space?
What?
You heard my question. Huh? Don't make a scene.
Wait, just outside of Earth's atmosphere.
But
as soon as you break.
What do you mean, where is it?
Because basically,
it's up.
But what is it? But what is a station? If they're space stations, what are they grounded on?
Nothing. They float.
Yeah.
How are they floating?
Lack of gravity.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it just gets in the orbit and then you can just leave it and it just.
I don't believe there's space stations now.
All right. So all the pictures that they take from up there, all of the
No, I believe there's satellites. So the pictures are from satellites. I don't believe there's. Do you watch Marvel?
Yeah.
So right now, Nick Fury, he's on the space station.
Yeah.
And it's massive.
Yeah.
It's the size of the planet.
Yeah.
Do I believe there's something up there like that and there's people who work there?
No.
All
right. Okay. So whenever they send like rockets up there, and crafts.
Yeah, I believe there's some rockets up there. But a space station to me, a space station is a building.
Yeah, in space.
In space.
Yeah.
As in, there's a door, there's elevator, there's lifts, there's offices, there's toilets, kitchen.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that's
right.
I believe that they go with rockets for sure.
All right. Okay. Cool. I want to put some articles up for you guys because I too want to find out why nobody believes that there are space stations up in space.
So you think there's space stations there?
Yes.
So what do you think the aim of those space stations are?
To find out as much information about the cosmos, to correspond with the travelers.
Okay.
You've been talking to Chike.
No. Look, my conspiracy relationship doesn't start with the moon and it being fake. For me, that's a basic thing.
Well, also, the space station you're talking of, that means there's rockets beneath it, right? As in, that's how it got there. They didn't build it up there. They built it here, and there's rockets beneath it.
No, I don't think they built everything here. I think they basically join certain parts of the space station.
Okay.
When it is they put stuff from the Earth up there. I think everything that goes up, it has to come from somewhere.
Yeah,
right. And if they basically landed on the moon way back when, and I have my own theory as to why it is that there's been no information about that. Since as in us going back there to just chill. Why isn't there 4K footage of us just chilling, walking on the moon? I feel there's a base station on the moon. I think they went their time ago and thought, wait a minute, there were things here before. We've seen evidence that there were things here before. We can't be telling the mass public that we've got visitors.
Why not?
So, because it will cause mass mayhem.
I don't think people are ready for that,
Well, that there's people.
There are other beings that exist other than
aliens.
Us.
I think people can handle it.
I don't think so.
No.
Because then why are they going up to the moon there? Because when them going to the moon and doing all these things is to see there's other life there.
Not really. It's just to explore what's outside. It's just like how
it's just curiosity.
Do you really feel like that's the reason? Because they want to protect humanity's
it's not protecting
health or something.
It's not. I don't think it's protecting because
I believe that we can handle it.
100% you're saying that, right?
Yeah.
But then you said you don't think that we even went to the moon.
No, I believe in aliens. I'm saying I believe in aliens. I believe there's life in the universe. I'm just saying this specific moon thing. I'm just saying that there's so much question. Why? So I'm questioning that particular visit. I'm not saying that I don't believe in space travel.
I think it was purposeful misinformation and disinformation put into the mix by the government at the time. 100% I believe that was the case. And especially during the UFO Roswell sightings, they did all of that all the time just to confuse people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now they don't have to do anything because there are people out there saying it never existed. It was a studio. They don't have to basically put in that particular resources to fool people anymore. But I 100%, if we could do so many different things with a mobile phone, and if it is you're seeing Elon Musk looking to make robots that help us in the house, and we're going to be having automated vehicles dropping off our parcels in the next 5 years, right? That's why we're moving to 5G and everything. If you're seeing him building rockets to basically go where no man has gone before, just a regular man, the government's been doing this for time. And not just the American government, because you can say that they're ups, but you need to understand they are really ups. Russia does not like America. America doesn't like Russia. China doesn't like America. America doesn't like China. They're really ups. They're not going to be hiding things from like everybody. If it is America has accolades of being the only nation to be going to the moon. They weren't the only nation to go to the moon. China's been to the moon. Russia's been to the moon. Do you understand? They had their own space program. So a lot of people don't know about this. So we just focus on the American news that came out. But the different countries had their own space programs. It was a race. This just same way it was a race to create the atom bomb. Do you understand? So if they went to the moon time ago, they would have started exploring far past just going to the moon. They would have upper base, and that's where the whole conglomerate comes in. I do believe that there is an agreement between certain individuals or entities within certain countries that they've agreed, okay, nobody, the entire world, we're separate from the entire world, we're separate from the governments in a sense. There is a bigger calling for us, and we need to gatekeep this. I do believe that is the case, and it's mostly private companies. I 120% believe this. And it's only us, I guess, researching, digging, asking questions when it will start coming up bit by bit by bit. This whole disclosure thing with the Tic Tac UFOs that came out in, I think it was the New York Times or the LA Times, I can't remember. That was wild. Because all the time people were there thinking this is all bollocks. There's no way that you can convince me that these particular things exist. But yet, they agreed, yes, it's not from this world. And there are a lot of private companies like BlackRock, right, that are doing they've been doing a whole set of experiments. They have entire laboratories built within mountains, like full-on laboratories, where they've been carrying on all these different experiments, not just, otherworldly experiments, but gene splicing of different animals and human beings. They've been doing that crap. So I can't think that the moon landing was faked. Impossible. There were too many millions of people tuned into that particular thing to think it was just in a Hollywood studio. Impossible. Because you saw the flipping thing take off.
But that can't be the reason, though. Because look at Attenborough. Remember we spoke about this before. That obviously that's not live, innit? But nobody knew that he was recording some of that stuff with the animals in the studio.
No, this is a bit different. I can understand you talking about nobody seeing the high quality camera zoomed into these stupid insects, right? But this is different. There was an entire space program. There were people working for the program. They went to the bloody rocket. The people got in the rocket. They went up. Do you understand? It's not studio. It was live footage. I'm not understanding what you're saying.
But they could have went and then failed. And then they just, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not like it was live.
They went up, they stopped recording, and then they dropped somewhere else, and then got out quickly, went to the studio in Hollywood, and did what they did.
Because it failed.
Was everything in one sequence, as in the rocket went up?
No, it wasn't one day.
No.
It wasn't one day.
Exactly. So what you saying?
So they had time, basically.
So the rocket went up, the mission failed. They landed back. Oh fuck, we fucked up. Let's just make this up.
So all right. So you'll have seen, I'm not sure if you've followed NASA updates since then, or even Elon Musk's little pet projects since then.
Not really. No.
And that's probably why you're seeing what you're seeing.
No, but I believe we went to the moon, though.
Why?
I just believe that we have.
Give me a reason, because I've tried to give you a reason.
All right, cool. Based on the fact that I feel like the technology was there at the time. I believe that so much resources was pumped into it, from, like you said, from both of these countries, where it's like, I don't think both of them failed, right? Thirdly, all the evidence against it, to me, doesn't really stand up. So when you talk about the photos, the fact that there was no stars in space when they took the photos, that when the shadows, all these things that just sound like they're plausible reasons are not, to me, plausible reasons. They can be debunked. So it's like, if that's the reasons against it, and I believe those reasons are not good enough, then why am I doubting that we went there? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I see it.
Okay. And since then, why haven't we, quote unquote, gone back?
I don't know. I just think that priorities were different, man.
What?
I just feel like there was a lot of different.
Oh, hold on. This has been the only time we've ever tried to go to space.
Yeah. Oh, well, back to the moon. Yeah.
This is the only. Sorry. Space.
I don't think so. No. I told you already. I believe that there's a.
This is the only documented.
Yeah.
Again, that's what I'm saying.
Publicly
they stopped
documented.
telling people, just like they stopped telling people that we were going to be having flying cars, right? Because there was a point in history where they were just talking about the Jetsons type of thing, right? And that's when the whole Roswell stuff, when he realized that, they were flying vehicles and this and that, right? They stopped telling people this. So we just fell out of a
But how do you
memory.
go to the... I'm not saying you're wrong, but how do you...
No,
No, I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm talking about, as in, I believe there's been more missions to the moon.
Yes, there have
been. I'm saying, how do you do that discreetly?
Well,
how do you send a rocket to the moon discreetly?
Well, there are certain people who don't believe that there are satellites in orbit.
course there is. You get satellite images, don't you?
They think it's all fake.
All CGI.
All CGI.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So to ask me how did they do that, but people don't follow this intently anyway.
Yeah.
They're worrying about other things.
Yeah.
So 100%, NASA hasn't just been chilling working on one project. I think just the other day you all saw maybe some stuff on the timeline. NASA hasn't been chilling for decades.
Mm-hmm.
They've been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I told you, there's a federation up there. There's a federation up there. And they're having communications with different entities.
So you believe they're communicating with different
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Brent is saying that the Avengers do exist.
I believe that when you see these things dripped into
not the
popular
Avengers.
culture,
Shield.
when you see these things dripped into popular culture, they come from somewhere. The amount of detail is uncanny.
Yeah.
There's a reason. Do you understand? There's a reason. You probably when you touch Hollywood, when you break into that particular circle, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna see like many weird individuals, and you wonder like, what's your skill set? It's because they've been and they're just feeding stuff back. The consultants, they've been up there.
I'll never forget that bar that Nas said. You know that song on Untitled called "We're Not Alone."
Yeah.
When he goes, visitors probably live with us. They can mimic us.
Yeah.
Some like what you see in the cinemas.
Yeah.
He believes it, man. A lot of people have been seeing. You know what? There's a program on Netflix. Yeah. I wish you look and watch this. Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. I'll find out, right? And basically, they're actually interviewing people who are part of these missions back in the day. And these men are talking about they saw the alien themselves.
I've watched it.
You did it.
Yes, I've watched it. You're not understanding.
They cracked open the bloody rocket. They seen this figure, this creature in there. Doing all types of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they seen it alive, controlling stuff. And I think to myself, sure, this has to be real. Or you lot are maniacs. Why are you lying like this? There's no in between. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I fathom to understand if we're there talking about we believe in God. We believe in all these mystical things, right? Just beyond the veil. But it's hard to comprehend this particular thing in our plane of existence.
Are you comparing aliens to God?
The thing is, I kind of look at it.
Yes.
It's a good point, though.
Yes,
it's not a good point. First of all,
I'm not comparing them as in power.
Your point is not great.
I'm not comparing them as in power. I'm saying if it is that we can basically latch onto things that we don't have empirical evidence of, and they're spiritual, they're extraterrestrial, right? Extraordinary. Why is it so difficult to basically say, yeah, this is also possible?
They've had evidence of God, not of aliens.
But I believe that we've had. Remember, I told you my theory of aliens before.
Yeah.
It's literally linked to my faith.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, you know what it is? You know when you say the word alien, you just think of this.
Yeah, because of what we've been conditioned.
Creature, yeah. So
yeah.
I try to take myself out of that mindset. I look at it like this. I believe, because I'm looking at it from a godly standpoint. I don't believe God only put life on earth. I just don't believe it.
The universes.
What else do you think, see?
I believe that okay, this is what I see it.
This should work a joke.
No, this is what I see it. The universe is bigger than we know. We don't know the entirety of God's scope. Yeah. At all. We're just one singular planet which is here.
Yeah.
Why do we think that we are the only life in this universe or beyond even whatever God has planned for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't look at it like, aliens are these ghoulish, big-eyed creatures. If we're all made on God's image, then the word alien just means foreign.
Yeah.
I believe there's what we look like. We exist everywhere. We're just not privy to it because that's not what we're here. We're not here to be privy to it. Like, I believe there's people out there who look just like us on other universes and other planets living their lives. We're just not meant to know because we are here. God put us here, and that's it. Like I look at it as God's playground. It's like I always remember this. Have you seen Men in Black? I think it's Men in Black 1. Yeah. At the end of Men in Black, I think they were trying to depict what the universe was. Right? So they had imagine you had like 1 million solar systems, yeah, all within a marble, right? So you've got millions of life within a marble, yeah. This creature had a handful of marbles, which were all solar systems, and he put them in a bag and he tied them up, and then it was an alien as we know it, holding it. That's how I look at God, not as an alien, but as someone who has 1,000,001 solar systems in his hands, and this is his playground.
But you know,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Just imagine if that's the case, right?
Yeah.
Just imagine God knowing your name.
Yeah.
If this is the scope of what existence is, and He knows your name intimately, just imagine how powerful He is to have relationship with every single entity in there.
Yeah, I believe there's life. There's life. I don't look at it like, the only reason why I kind of see, you know how we've been conditioned to know what aliens look like? It's because of animals. Because animals are complete different creatures to us.
Yeah.
And animals are complete other species. So that's the only reason why maybe I think that other planets may have beings that look like animals. Because when you really think about it, the way they depict aliens, it's just a reconstruction of what animals look like most of the time.
But it's also
there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It's also because people have cited these things.
Yeah.
So you know the whole Greys image is because they believe.
Well, you mean the massive oval head with the massive eyes? Yeah.
People are saying like
that's
how
humanoid,
it looked.
by the way.
Huh?
And that's more humanoid. And bear in mind, there remains, there are fossils that have been found of entities that lived on this earth that look like Greys with the elongated head and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't see Greys more so as I see some of these depictions of animal aliens. I see them as quote unquote maybe a prehistoric form of human being or an advanced form of human being. I think it's too uncanny that it looks humanoid to suggest it's anything like what he was saying with the animals.
But what are like the dates of those fossils though? Those bones.
I don't place any credibility to any of the metrics that these scientists, because they scream 10 billion. Yeah, I don't know how they measure it.
But the reason I'm saying is because remember you've got tribes. You've got tribes in Africa. Who practice binding their head and certain things to elongate their head and all these type of things. So you may find a skeleton in that and think, wait a minute, this don't look correct. You know what I'm saying? But really, they're just human beings.
Yeah. I know. I'm not saying that that's what aliens were. But I'm saying if you have these remains that the skull is out of proportion, so what we would deem regular, it's only from our particular angle in this particular age, right? If we're finding it like that, don't just look at these humanoid Greys as just they're out there. It could literally be that they were chilling there for the longest while.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't want me to get in my bag.
See, this is not you in your bag?
I'm not even in my bag yet.
Because I've just been, sorry.
No, go on.
I don't know. I just think that, obviously, I know you guys were trying to, bring God and whatever, but I just feel like God didn't want me to know about all of that stuff. Because He said go and populate the earth, not the world. So the earth is where I'm at.
You mean the universe?
Yeah.
You didn't say universe.
No, you said go and populate the earth, not the world. The world is the earth, no?
You just mean not the universe.
I'm confused, man. It's giving maths. So the earth is a universe. Is that what you're saying?
No, the earth is in the universe. It's a planet in the universe, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So He's saying just go and populate this one planet.
That's because He made us in this one planet.
Yeah, so I feel like if God wanted me to know about all the other places that He would have said, go forth and populate the universe.
But He may have just created this Bible for this earth.
You think the God other Bibles?
No.
See, but
I'm saying,
we don't know.
I'm saying
we don't know.
There is a lot of information that you deem that is the only message that God wants to send to you, right?
Yeah.
Because you've just used
I've got it in this
compilation of this book.
Okay, yeah.
But you've gotten messages from God that never in the Bible.
Okay.
Do you understand? The Bible isn't just the sum total of what God is.
No,
it's greater than that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? He didn't mention anything about communication devices like iPhones in the Bible.
Well, I mean, He didn't need to.
This is
it.
Yeah.
Because we then, like, that's life. But I wouldn't use my communication phone to commit murder because God speaks about murder.
I hear that. Did he give us the knowledge? All the wisdom that we have, who is it given by?
God.
All right. Can we not travel to different planets?
Yeah, but then sometimes we take it too far. That when they were trying to get to go and see what God was like upstairs. Do you get what I mean? So sometimes human beings, I think God's given us knowledge and wisdom, but sometimes we do too much with it and then we run with our own imagination. Our imagination starts to run. So our imagination running isn't from God.
Yeah. But how do you know that we're doing too much then?
Because, do you know, I'll be honest with you, people trying to poke into other planets and stuff like that. What is it? Tower of Babel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's your, is that your accent or is that actually how I said?
I think both work. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. This is what it reminds me of. Just
but that's
going
allegory,
into
though.
where I haven't been placed.
Just explain allegory, please.
As in like metaphor. It's not like
What's allegory?
like a metaphor. Like
No, but what is what? So what? I said
the Tower of Babel.
What do you mean that's a metaphor?
Because how can you get to God by building a building that high?
But that's the thing that they didn't know that, did they? In their mind, they were wise. They had knowledge. They were intelligent. They could do it. So in the same way that we believe, well, not we, y'all believe that there's life and stuff. So you're trying to get there to figure it out to see what's there. It's just giving me the same energy.
Hold on, what's this story you're talking about? Someone built They built a what?
They tried to build a tower to God.
Yeah.
How big was the tower?
And they got
it was
confused them and then put all these different languages in their mouths and stuff so they couldn't communicate together.
That was when?
Some time ago.
No, but when though?
Not some time ago.
Like thousands of years.
That was like an Old Testament.
If you're a creationist.
Exactly, that was back then. Like they didn't know better, bro.
Because in their head, they knew that God was not on this plane of existence.
Yeah.
And they thought it was just, let's reach the sky.
Yeah.
But we know.
And they thought that they're gonna see a head looking down upon them.
They were curious.
And this is why you have that famous, the first guy that went into space. He had that famous quote when he said, I'm paraphrasing now. I'm in space and there's no sign of God.
Yeah, but God,
you know what I'm saying?
But who? I know, obviously, from like watching cartoons and stuff like that. But who actually believes that God exists in space? Why does he have to exist in space? I don't understand the premise behind that.
It's because it's not Earth. So humans will think that next
heaven,
thing, the best thing, is heaven.
Yeah, but I don't believe. Yeah, but okay, heaven to me doesn't exist in this.
You have more information than they have.
In this,
yes, exactly.
I know what I'm talking about.
Realm.
Yeah,
this in this realm.
Yeah.
So you can't go to heaven. Heaven exists in a complete different realm.
Yeah, but then back then they didn't have planes. So I've been in the sky and I know that God isn't in the sky. Yeah. So for them, because I hadn't been to the sky, they're thinking maybe he's there.
Yeah, I know. And that's when I said they didn't know better.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why people believe the devil's under the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And hell is down there. You got Christians who believe that.
Yeah.
If you drill deep enough, you hear screams of people in hell and all this bollocks.
But bear in mind, there's something in that.
Oh my God.
What's in that? I'm actually curious.
There is something in
what?
In the videos where you see the screaming and stuff. You hear the screaming and stuff.
What is it?
Now, again, this is me getting into my bag a bit more, right?
You're getting into it because this is very interesting.
I believe that there is an earth within the earth.
Okay.
There is life. There are life forms.
Mm-hmm.
There is habitable places within the earth.
And who's done there?
As in, dig into the earth, you mean?
Yes.
And who's done there?
Don't know yet.
What? I don't know yet. Like he's going to dig.
No,
he's going to dig on the 3rd of September.
Because you have underground, but how far down are you talking? Because the underground is.
Do you mean that
where?
Because
if you dig the earth, right?
Yeah.
There is a outer layer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you would think, keep digging, you just pure heat.
Yeah.
Yes. Close you get to the
to the core, iron's core.
Core. Yeah. But there's so many different levels of layers.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, how deep are you talking?
Deep enough
to not be affected by the core, but still be.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's hard to imagine.
Thank you. And I believe that there are even some dinosaurs that are in this Middle Earth.
Do you understand what you're saying now? Because
now dinosaurs.
I'm taking so you believe they're actual like beings and not spirits?
No, beings.
Under, down, the earth.
100%.
And the dinosaurs are there too.
Wait, not all of them.
So technically, we're walking on them.
Wait. Do you guys believe?
Oh, you're talking about deep.
Have they got a sun down there? Did they have days?
I believe that there was a terraformer there. There is life that can be sustained there.
Okay.
Right? Now, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great time to do it Monday morning, right?
Tuesday.
And this is all free people.
Tuesday morning.
Also, hold on.
Tuesday, sorry. I'm gone.
What has more space? The earth or inside? As in the surface area?
That's like he's been there.
It would be the earth, no? Well,
No, I'm talking about just like...
What do you mean?
From a physics standpoint.
it will be the earth because it has a larger...
Yeah, so you believe the earth is circular, right? So what has more surface area?
It will be the
outer.
The outer. It will be the
Yeah,
outer.
okay.
Yeah. All right, so do you guys believe that there are certain aquatic dinosaurs still in existence?
I would say aquatic
I don't know
creatures.
how I feel about dinosaurs.
I don't know about dinosaurs per se, but
When you say creatures,
exactly.
what do you mean?
like for example, you'll see videos all the time about we discovered this new sea creature in Australia, whatever. It's never been seen before. It's got like 4 eyes, it's mad. So yeah, I don't know about dinosaurs per se, but definitely the sea is so vast that there's definitely creatures in the sea that we haven't discovered yet and that we're still discovering.
When I say dinosaurs, I just speak to that period of time when those big creatures roam the earth and the seas and the skies.
You're talking about the Jurassic period.
Jurassic
65
creatures.
million years ago, Brent.
Listen to what I'm saying. I don't know what you mean by that, because to
But I'm trying to
suggest that evolution doesn't exist is baffling to me.
Don't say no.
And
Do you know why? Because
I don't believe in this 65 million bollocks. Don't tell me about that nonsense. That's stupid.
But Brent, you remember when you're saying evolution to suggest I'm saying evolution doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Remember, if you've evolved, you're no longer that thing. You remember that?
No. I believe it's like human beings were in existence right from the very beginning.
Of what?
What do you subscribe to? Bible, right?
Yeah.
Who was the first man?
It's one Yoruba guy called.
And we have evolved and we're still men.
Yeah.
So don't talk to me about this.
All right, cool.
Yes, because whatever animals God placed on the earth, they're still animals now.
No, but Ben, it's different.
I
Because,
get what you mean.
Yeah, but it's different because obviously you're now thinking from using that whole creationist idea. If you're talking about evolution via the whole general science,
I told you, don't believe in that bollocks.
Exactly. This is why it's different. You know what I'm saying? Because 6,000 years isn't a lot of time to evolve into a new thing.
An alligator. That's an evolution of a dinosaur. That's what they say, no?
Yeah.
A crocodile, sorry, whatever.
Yeah, but to be fair though, even like in the Bible, like the Bible talks about not everything can evolve because the Bible talks about like pigeons, talks about doves, talks about goats, sheep. Do you get me? So I guess not everything something would just stay the same.
No, he made a wrong statement to suggest that there weren't creatures that exist right now that existed back then, because we know about the goats and the sacrificial lambs and all.
Yeah, so some
to suggest that
they would.
No, but he's talking about way before then. He's talking about a time before the Bible, a
Yeah.
time before creation.
Yeah.
So he's now mixing two different theologies
Times.
right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah. And that's he's allowed to do that. By the way, he's allowed to do that.
What's that shade about?
Just let him
Context.
know. Because obviously, if it is you subscribe to the Bible, he believes that God was in the beginning.
Yeah.
And not, was it the Big Bang?
Yeah. No, but remember, you can be a Christian and still subscribe to the Big Bang.
Yes, because you would say that God created the earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow.
You can.
So.
You can.
Well, what does it? Okay. What does it mean? What does it mean to be a Christian? Christian's got nothing to do with how you see the world through physics. It's solely down to just believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and came down to live and die for us.
Yeah,
and we have salvation through him.
This is how I explain the whole Big Bang stuff, right? Because the whole Big Bang, I'm not sure if you've ever read any text regarding what that actually looks like. But
100%.
when you read it,
it's
far too complex for it to just be, by the way, like something needs to have happened in order to spark it. But then I always question, all right, if again, Christians who just say y'all don't need to question anything past that, I'm like, but you do, because if this is what you guys base everything on, you still have this big question as who flipping created God? You still have that question. And this is one of the first question I'm going to ask God, like when it is, I go.
So who's your daddy?
But
yeah, how? I'm just gonna say how.
But that's what makes God.
But the thing is, when does it end then? Who created God?
This is what I'm saying.
Who created the person who created God?
I think it's our finite.
Where does it end?
It's our finite understanding of time that basically has us puzzled.
Yeah.
if we had a deeper understanding of how time works, not just in this particular plane of existence, but outside in space and whatnot, then we may be able to say, all right, maybe this is what happened. But it will still confuse us because chicken egg.
So I think some things we're just not meant to understand.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I can't sit down and not question.
Yeah, no, I'm here with you, but we can't comprehend it. Like we actually can't comprehend it.
But I don't think I will go crazy. I'm not going to go crazy.
It's beyond our comprehension. Yeah.
But I don't ever think, who created that? That idea doesn't come into my mind though, because I think by definition that's what makes God God. You know what I'm saying? That He exists outside of human
understanding and
and time and space.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. So it's completely different.
Again, and with this is what has me really questioning what the church did as it pertains to the destruction of so much information, right? Because they made us believe there was nothing else other than what it is that we were fed, right? Mm-hmm. The understanding of God and what we should question, what we shouldn't question. You just said just now, this is what makes God God. The fact He exists outside of time and space, right? For a logical thinking man or woman, that's not enough. It's not enough to just say, don't question it.
Yeah.
Because you cease to exist as a curious being. Do you understand? 100%. And everything, for me, why I question is to find out how much more glorious God is.
100%.
In the pursuit is where I find out, wow. So to suggest I should question only up until a certain point, I have to be like, nah.
It's not that you should only, but it's me understanding. Like if I look at our culture, for example, in again, I don't want to go off topic here, but it's just like when you had the white people proselytized into Africans and stuff, and trying to bring this, let's just say Christianity or Islam to us.
What does proselytize mean?
To evangelize and try to, give us all the, their stuff, right? So what did they have to do? In order to make us understand their ideology, they had to use certain characters from our belief system and change it and work backwards.
Okay, make
you know what I'm saying? Like even today you have people who say Eshu in Yoruba is the devil.
Yeah.
But he's not the devil. He's never been the devil. He just may have had some he's just an Orisha, just like Ogun and Shango and all that. Yeah.
I thought it was devil in Yoruba.
We don't have the devil in our belief system.
No, I mean like in the language.
No, never. It was never that. Before 1800 or something, before the Bible was translated into Yoruba, Eshu was never known as a devil. You see what I'm saying? But because of his character being a bit of a trickster, he was the closest thing to being the devil, which just means a deceiver. I say all that just to say, again, look at Olodumare.
Yeah.
To us, it just means what? God.
You're God.
But that's Yoruba. If you break down and look at the etymology of the word, you see it basically means what? To possess. Odu is like what? Like a big pot. Older than like Yoruba, right? And Mare is like meaning it's never ending. So if you look at the word, it's basically the possessor of that which is never ending.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we conceive God. That from Him comes all things. So it's not necessarily a case of you don't question, but we understood that He's the source of all things, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get the source of the source. You know what I'm saying? Of the source of the source. You just know this is the source, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's basically how I see it. So I think it's also because of the how we're now trying to mix in what we've been taught about certain belief systems that gives us that confusion, and which is kind of what you kind of intimated when you was talking about what they made us believe, right? And stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
And also that looks like a big satellite. I think in my head I was imagining something different. So yeah.
Yeah, it does have the whatever a satellite does, it does the same thing, but people live there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and they have to keep changing them out every some certain months.
Okay.
And they have to put gas up and then put the fuel and stuff.
Okay. No ways, I'm picturing people in suits. You know what I mean? Walking around the office. Whereas that is more so like astronauts living in space, doing space shit.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, that I can believe.
Yeah.
I think No, it is. With like Marvel and shit, my mind just got taken to another place.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of like a space station where there's like agents and shit. Like,
like
Men in Black type shit.
Like,
you know what I mean?
you mean hundreds of people?
You've seen, you guys
not
have
just
seen.
like
They're
eight
like two.
people on a
exactly.
massive.
You
know what I mean?
see, now the beauty of what you just said about them looking at the entities that existed in the Nigerian culture and then working back in order to basically tether it to some form of understanding. Yes, this is how I work back. Right, you have in this petty land. This land that we call Earth, clandestine agents for different countries, different agendas, right? Now you have these nations having satellites, again, which are space stations in orbit. Why are they going to wait until the next nation gives them information about what is out there?
Yeah.
If it is that they have their own motives on Earth, they're going to pursue whatever they want to pursue outside. No one's going to tell them or govern. This is what you must do. No, they are individual entities, so they're going to basically have the biggest space stations with the massive capabilities of this, that, and the next. The exploration is going to be crazy, and they're going to be feeding that back to their own people, not the world.
But what's the end goal then? What is the ultimate goal?
I'm telling you, there's a federation up there, and they are voting with different entities from different planets.
So basically, there's
a space federation.
Basically, the benefit of this is
the United Nations
is
the
beyond our understanding, because
it's not,
there's things going on.
It's not beyond our understanding.
That they're benefiting from. No, not
this is it.
Yeah,
this is
they're benefiting from.
I'm telling you.
Don't necessarily. We don't need to know about, essentially.
Yes. So we talked about controlling the weather the other day, right? And it was a farcical idea. How can you control the weather?
Yeah.
I believe that there are entities who give us information, give us as in human beings information. And the only people that would get this information are those nations that are brave enough to even go out to basically meet them. And over the years, this is what has been happening. And yes, in the first place, it might have been our natural reaction to these otherworldly things. Just hostility responded to them. And I do believe that there are entities that are harmful and entities that are not. Right? And just like how we are on this earth and there are human beings and principalities that are harmful and some that are not.
Yeah.
It's about humankind to be curious and to find out. Do you understand? And I believe that has been happening since before Roswell. 100%.
Good question, Ben.
Yes.
Do you feel as though these entities that have been communicated with, that we're communicating with, right, have helped with certain explorations?
Yes.
Cool.
100%. I helped with certain advances also in technology.
Yeah, in technology,
Because if it is that you know full well that the army has a machine where they can throw pulses to just discombobulate our physiological being. How did you come up with that crap? Just off the whim? Nah, you were fed some information because this particular thing was probably used on human beings way back when. And you caught one of them. You tortured them because we love torturing. And you found some information.
But see, that sounds fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it just takes away the genius of mankind.
No. I'm not suggesting that. Just like how you have Michael Jordan, I don't think he is the best player that ever existed in the NBA. I believe that there are better players than Michael Jordan never
made it.
Never made it. So you have this particular nation, UK, with their geniuses. Then you go to Nigeria, you have another set of geniuses. Then you go to America, you have another set of geniuses, right? They exist in all these different pockets in the world, right?
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that one discovery can't be found another way by somebody else.
Okay.
Do you understand? Things can be expedited.
Facts.
Right? Things can be reverse engineered.
Yep.
So I don't put technological advancement just down to the flipping greys sharing information. Do you understand? That's not where my head is at all.
Okay.
But I do believe there are many things that we don't even ask, and because we don't ask, we just assume it's human.
Okay.
Do you believe that other universes was started, like their genesis was, say, where we are now.
No, I think
you believe everything started on the same timeline in terms of, for example, in our
are we the first?
In our solar system, we started from
Adam
and Eve and stuff.
Yeah. He thinks dinosaurs.
But dinosaurs. but in another solar system, in terms of how advanced civilization was, they might have started from, like, I don't know, 1960. In terms of the way things were then.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is off the back of your theory that every single galaxy or solar system has versions of us, yes?
No, not versions of us, as in, but just other humans.
Humans. Yeah. So, and I guess that could also, I could ask you, that could play into this whole deja vu theory, right? Mm-hmm. There are other us that lives a parallel life somewhere else. Yeah. And we've done this before. Yeah. And it could be uncanny that that's what deja vu is, because it feels too real to be just cast away, right? Yeah. So let me get back to your point. So I personally don't believe that there are other human beings created outside of what God has created on this earth. Okay. I do believe that there are other humanoid beings that started from earth and were transported elsewhere. Some of them were just regular, like the Mayans and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Yes. And some of them were gene spliced with animals. Hence the different variations of aliens that you see. Some of them say that the lizard ones have infiltrated the royal family. I believe it's true. Do you understand?
The reptilians.
Who do you believe is a lizard?
I think many people are lizards or has lizard blood in them.
And they transform.
I believe that they can transform. Yes. Oh, look, listen. I start by saying if I believe that there are witches and wizards in this world, and they fly and they could turn into snakes and cats. If I could believe in that, why am I not believing in this?
But it's a bit different though.
Tell me how it's different.
Because these are different beings.
No, it might be different because there is the earth and then there is outer, right? Yeah. And there are many things that we don't even know in the ocean, let alone outside in space. Yes.
Facts.
So if you can basically grasp, you can wrap your head around, what's his name, J Hus turning into a cat.
No, that was
sorry, not Skepta.
Sneakball.
If you can believe that, and you may not, but I do believe that you believe that there are people who change into different things. It might just be because you believe your parents when they tell you the story, right? Or maybe you've seen it yourself. I don't know. Yeah. But witchcraft is real.
Oh, facts.
Yes? Yeah. Wizardry is real. Yeah. Occultism is real. 100%. They tap into something real. Yeah. Do you understand? So if I can basically fathom you sitting there and then turn around again, you're a pussycat. Brother, why am I stretching to believe that these alien things are real?
Listen, I believe in aliens, man. I always have. So I'm not even questioning that. I'm just questioning the extent to how things are being done. I believe there's aliens. I believe there's life all over the place. But I'm just, the whole lizards thing.
It's a bit too far-fetched, right?
It's a bit too far-fetched for me. Even though I believe in aliens, do I believe that? Because again, I'm trying to find it hard to not mix up Marvel with this. Yeah. What you're describing is like, have you heard of Skrulls?
Yeah.
So Skrulls are... Yeah. So you're basically describing Skrulls. Yeah. So Skrulls are basically aliens who can morph into human beings. And they live amongst us. Right? And a lot of the Marvel superheroes are actually Skrulls, and they've been Skrulls, but you don't know them. So you're just saying that in the royal family, there's lizards who've now just presented as human beings.
And not even just them, it's certain people in certain powerful families. This is why they don't mix with regular folk. Yeah. And this is why a lot of them live to 100 plus.
Yeah, and you have to keep the bloodline pure.
Yeah. Those type of things there, I'm not there with you completely. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I'm not there completely with you.
You should listen to David Icke.
David Icke.
Yeah, ICK. He that's his whole thing. Yeah. Like, he used to be a professional footballer. And then one day, he goes on Terry Wogan, right? You remember Terry Wogan show back in the day? And was just talking about this new way of life, new things he's seeing. Terry Wogan laughed at this guy.
Yeah.
They laughed him out of there.
Yeah.
The guy went into depression and all sorts, right? But that since then, I think that's the late 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He's just been talking about this new thing, and now he has millions of people who read his books, buy his books, go to his concerts where he's talking about these things.
Yeah.
He's you know what I'm saying? Like, people believe this.
Yeah. I mean, David Icke, something.
That's just like, when are we gonna move on?
I don't mind.
Yeah, we're moving on.
I don't mind.
No, one someone said, next topic, surely.
Sorry, people, man.
All right, cool. So, I just showed Yusuf a picture of one of the Chinese satellite stations. So he's now a believer that there are stations in orbit. Yeah, people like chill and live and whatnot. And again, we don't even get any information from there because you guys are looking for it. So what are they doing up there all the time?
Do different countries have their own satellite stations?
Yes.
If they can afford it. Because Nigerian go on.
And the Chinese one is when you choose to believe.
Why wouldn't it be Chinese? Chinese is the one I would believe.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a tech.
Wait, why?
They're the richest
That's interesting.
nation in the
No,
world.
but why wouldn't you believe Chinese?
I didn't say you have to believe anything. I'm just interested.
Like Nigerian,
build everything.
Like a Nigerian one, I wouldn't believe.
I'm more like a no. Listen, I don't believe that place is real.
I wouldn't believe in that Nigerian
I would
space
be
station
more likely to
in a million
believe like
years.
the Russian one. I believe.
Yeah, but China and Russia, they're both powerhouses in this thing.
I don't really hear about China, but then I don't really.
China is
China?
literally the richest.
Yeah, but
they're
I realised
licking up
though.
Africa. What do you mean?
Do what?
They're licking up Africa right now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Bit too much.
You know how many nations owe China money?
Yeah, no, China.
I've spoken about it on here. I've talked about Nigeria and been in debt to them, and they're basically gonna, in a few years' time,
baby.
it's gonna be all Chinese people in Nigeria. But fair enough. But to be fair, I don't think I get this far in conversations about this. I only hear Russia, and then by that time, maybe China comes to conversation. I've tapped out. So I learned something today.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, that was a nice Tuesday segment of Woke a Joke. Let's get to our next headlines.
Okay, so this next headline is also to do with traveling in the air. So basically, it's emerged that 2 Air France pilots have been suspended after a physical altercation in the cockpit. The pilot and the co-pilot exchanged blows. Pause. As they flew.
I saw you did there. Like you're blowing in the cockpit. Okay.
As they flew an Airbus A320 from Geneva to Paris in June. Members of the cabin crew intervened after hearing the noise. One crew member stayed in the cockpit until the flight landed safely. The incident didn't affect the flight, the airline told La Tribune. The incident comes after a report published by France's air investigation body on Tuesday, which said that the airline had a culture which lacked rigor when it came to safety procedures. So yeah, they're getting known for this nonsense, man.
I would like to know what the fight was about.
In the air, you know.
That's scary. Because so when the plane, there's 2 pilots in there, the pilot and the co-pilot.
Yeah.
So if they're fighting, it's wild.
I'm really interested to know why.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah,
our host is involved, so never know.
And the next headline is a sad one, you know. It's about a man who was basically the last of his tribe. So the last remaining member of an uncontacted indigenous group in Brazil has died. The man whose name was not known had lived in total isolation for the past 26 years. He was known as Man of the Hole because he dug deep holes, some of which he used to trap animals, while others appeared to be his hiding spaces. His body was found on 23rd of August in a hammock outside his straw hut. There were no signs of violence. The man was the last of an indigenous group whose other remaining 6 members were killed in 1995. The group lived in the Tanaru indigenous area in the state of Rondônia, which borders Bolivia. The majority of his tribe were thought to have been killed as early as the 1970s by ranchers wanting to expand their land. The Man of the Hole is thought to have been about 60 years old and to have died of natural causes. There were no signs of any incursions in his territory and nothing in his hut had been disturbed, officials said, but police will still carry out a post-mortem investigation. Under Brazil's constitution, the indigenous people have a right to their traditional land, so those wanting to seize it have been known to kill them. The man of the hole had been monitored for his own safety by agents from Brazil's Indigenous Affairs Agency since 1996. There are currently about 240 indigenous tribes in Brazil, with many under threat as illegal miners, loggers, and farmers encroach onto their territory. Survival International is basically a firm that tries to protect them, and they're putting pressure on people to basically fight for indigenous people's rights. So man,
that's sad.
Yeah, this is what these people do. It's just like killing people and just taking their land.
I would have thought though, like if you're from that kind of tribe,
mm-hmm.
you would do a lot to keep that tribe alive.
What do you mean?
Like I would have thought he'd be a polygynist, for example.
Yeah, but they killed off the women. There's nobody there.
Oh yeah, because you need someone that's pure breed as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll want that. Yeah, that's what they do, man. You know, life. Yeah, it's a shame. All these people, they come over, and this is what they've been doing all over the world, man. Anywhere these people are in contact with indigenous people, they like to take over their land and kill them. You know what I mean? The next headline. Turns out AI technology may be the biggest snitch ever.
It ain't black, is it?
So the discovery of thousands of undeclared private swimming pools in France has provided an unexpected windfall for French tax authorities. Following an experiment using artificial intelligence, more than 20,000 hidden pools were discovered. French media is reporting that they have amassed some 10 million euros in revenue. This is because pools can lead to higher property taxes because they boost property value and they must be declared under French law. The software developed by Google and French consulting firm Gemini spotted the pools on aerial images of 9 French regions during a trial in October of last year. There were more than 3.2 million private swimming pools in France in 2020, according to data website Statista, with sales already booming before the COVID pandemic. But as more employees worked from home, there was a further surge in pool installations. According to Le Parisien newspaper, an average pool of 30 square meters is taxed at 200 euros a year. The tax authorities say the software could eventually be used to find undeclared home extensions, patios or gazebos, which also play a part in property taxes. So now, basically in France, what they're saying is certain people in the council and the borough don't need to come to your house. It does need to be reported. They can just use this AI technology and just find out if you built some illegal extensions. And then you'll be paying the fees, man. You know, they won't even tell you to get rid of it. They'll just tell you, hand over the tax money.
Boy.
So yeah, man. That's the end of the headlines.
Alrighty. Well, I've got so much gist for you guys. Let's get into Word on Road. Well, some of us were out here chilling, relaxing, partying, going to weddings, attending carnival, looking good. Some of you were out here wilding. I will start with the biggest wilder of them all. Dutchavelli has been caught in another scandal. This time it was, the girl was allegedly 18 at the time of their interaction.
Mm-hmm.
So what had happened was she did a TikTok. Basically, she was on TikTok. She put out a TikTok video saying, get to expose Dutchavelli, I guess. For her, it was more of a revenge. It was more of a karma thing. So she got her karma back. Do you guys believe in karma?
Not really.
Yes or no? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Bad people get away with things.
Yeah, do. So much to my annoyance, but they do. But so in her mind, it was a karma thing. So, you know, I reported he had a fight with, did I report that actually? I did tonight.
Yeah. With
Tion Wayne and, he and Tion Wayne had a fight in Dubai.
Yeah.
So for her, this is like his karma, I guess, for what he did wrong to her. So what he did wrong to her was, so apparently they were dating or whatever, doing whatever they were doing. I don't know if it was dating, they were doing whatever they're doing anyway. So she became pregnant. She's pregnant with twin boys. And when she first told him about the pregnancy, he was all like, oh yeah, bro. I think she found out when she was like 7 weeks or something. Well, she found out leading up to 7 weeks anyway. So he was all like, yeah, I'll be there to support you. Whatever you decide to do, I'll be there to support you, blah, blah. It's all good, right? Cool. So she's thinking, all right, cool. I might see what happens. And then she said there was one day where they were having a conversation about something and he was basically saying to her that she doesn't mean anything to him and she's not really his standard and blah, 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 blah. And so then one of her friends must have called her, a male friend must have called her. So she spoke to her, she's upset, but she's talking to her friend or whatever. He then obviously sees that she's talking to her friend, and that's just what happened. Sees that she's talking to her male friend, and he kicks her out. but not like get out of my house, but like she's claiming that he physically kicked her out, like dragged her out of the house, pushed her out, she hit her head on something, all this while being pregnant with twins, right? So anyways, she then said, trigger warning guys, sorry. She then went on to say anyway that she ended up losing the babies. So before that, he was basically threatening her on messages saying that she should get rid of the child and she's just a little girl, which I found ironic. I'll let you do the maths. But yeah, he's like, oh, she's just a little girl. What does she think she is? And she should ask about him. He threatened to shoot her, use his gun on her, said she should check the police reports. He's got police reports or whatever. It's all a bit weird to me, really and truly. So he was doing all of that stuff anyway. But yeah, sadly, anyway, she lost the baby. So she was basically just exposing his foolishness. He did come out to say, she's lied about her age and blah, blah, blah. And then she went on to then show receipts, her passport to show that she is the age that she is. It's just a bunch of foolishness, as it usually is, unfortunately, with this man's name.
Yeah, he's in the mud.
Yeah, so it's just that.
Apparently, that he I think this is one part of the story that he got her to basically tell people or write in her bio that she was 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically in her bio, it must have said something like 20, typo.
Oh, so this is what she wants. Okay.
Yeah.
Try to prove her age.
Exactly. To basically help the situation.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to insult somebody that you're dating and you're going to say to them, you're a little girl, that means you know that age-wise it's not really making sense. And that was in 4K. That was messages they actually sent to her. So, yeah.
I know that he should be dealing with young girls, but maybe tell her to bump her age up more than 20.
Yeah, like a 25.
You know what I mean? 20.
Because he's not that old. I thought he was in his 30s. I think he's 28.
He's 20-something.
Yeah, he's 28. So like a 25. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
Not 20.
20? People are still looking at you sideways for that. So yeah, that happened anyway. And then obviously I told you guys about KSI and Swarmz' fight. Yeah. KSI won. From what the clips I saw, like he won.
Swarmz didn't do it. Swarmz didn't throw a punch from what I saw.
Yeah.
He's running from the punches. Running around, falling over, running around, getting hit, running around. Yeah, it was terrible.
He didn't look, because basically, because I also saw what's it called? A clip of like KSI's before and after. Like he was really training hard for this.
Yeah. Swarmz didn't take it seriously.
From what I saw, of course, not body shaming or anything, but because Swarmz said to us, we're going to lose weight for it, going to do this and do that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he did, but the physique I saw didn't look like someone who was coming, who trained to fight somebody.
Swarmz didn't like he was in fighting shape. He didn't like he was ready for the fight.
No.
I went on his Instagram, he had one training video that I reckon this was just orchestrated.
Yeah.
It was just, let's run along the bridge for the optics.
Yeah.
Let's do some stuff for the optics, but I don't reckon he actually put in the work. It didn't show.
It didn't show.
At all.
Not in the slightest.
But I think, to be honest with you, I think he did better than I expected.
Is it? He was running away from
and then,
he was running, but
tripping on his own foot.
If you done better than what you expected, what did you expect him to do?
See my car. During Weden Road. Is it the person that's parked in front of me? Because he can get out there.
It's the council that don't bring up the tree.
Yeah, no. So hold on. What did you expect him to do?
What's gonna happen?
Basically, we'll just continue.
Okay, just
yeah. Basically, like, obviously, KSI did 2 fights, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the second fight?
Nah.
All right. That second guy, he's a professional boxer.
Yeah.
I expected somebody like Swarmz to do what that second guy did. Okay. That guy was terrible.
Okay.
He was dropped maybe, I don't know, 5 times maybe. He was complaining about getting hit behind his head.
Yeah.
He was just complaining about every single thing.
Yeah.
Swarmz didn't do that. Swarmz didn't complain once. Swarmz was
He had no time to complain. He got knocked out in the second round. He didn't complain. When did he have time to complain?
But he was still trying to, he was still, like, to me, right, Swarmz at least tried to engage. When he got a couple bangs, he realized, wait a minute, this is serious. Isn't it? Yeah. And so obviously he was on the back foot and trying to retreat and whatnot.
Yeah, but that's all we done was retreat, really. He didn't ever, correct me if I'm wrong, did he land a punch? Did he throw a punch?
I think he did, I think he might have landed 1 punch.
Okay.
But then when he received his one, his plan changed.
He tripped over himself a couple of times. I don't know. To me, that's as bad as anything.
Okay,
I feel like you want to give him some props just because. I don't feel like he deserves props for actually doing it.
Yeah.
For getting in the ring and that's what I give him props for. I don't give him props for his performance. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. How do you feel like he would have done against, the other lot? Where Lippy and Taze and them lot was fighting.
I think that's probably more his speed.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say him and versus Lippy. I reckon Lippy would probably still beat him.
Mm.
Yeah.
But you feel like that's his type of.
That's his type.
level.
But the thing is, Swarmz didn't show us
anything.
His boxing technique. He didn't show us anything.
That's true.
He didn't throw 1-2 combinations, a jab. He even do like a swing and miss. It was just run and guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
That was the government at work because they could have come here when you guys were talking about aliens and stuff. But no, they don't want me to be great. All right, yeah. So the clips I saw, mine was just ducking and diving. He did not like he trained for anything, and he did a whole diss track and everything. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
And then when he got knocked down the second time, he looked over his corner like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. Wait, did the check clear? Okay. I'm done.
No, but like you said, you have to respect it. It's tough, man. It's tough.
We're in a fight.
Like in front of millions of people.
I respect him for doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect him for doing it, but I don't respect him for... Respect's the wrong word. I don't rate the performance.
Yeah. People did say that he was basically paid off to do that. That was what he was paid for.
I can believe that only because KSI had 2 fights. If KSI had 1 fight and it was meant to be him versus Swarmz, that means Swarmz would have to come and give them a show.
Yeah.
Because they had 2 fights, it's like Swarmz, just lay down quickly so we can get into the second fight.
I don't think
because
so,
it looked like some looking at him like, yo,
I'm not saying he was told to do that, but basically, KSI wouldn't pick 2 opponents he thought would be hard.
Yeah,
that's going to be taxing on him physically.
That's true.
He picked Swarmz because he knew he would. He knew he would do that to Swarmz. So he thought, okay, cool, I'll pick Swarmz. I can dust him off quickly, and then the next guy. You're going to pick 2 guys who are going to give you a hard time.
Yeah,
because he'll be too tired for the second fight.
This is true.
You know
so that's the. But then Tommy Fury he tweeted and said, "You know where to find me at KSI," and people just came at him because obviously remember the whole Jake Paul thing. He hasn't fought him. Visa didn't clear, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And someone said Liam Neeson would struggle to find you when it comes to arranging a boxing match.
Yeah, Tommy Fury needs to just box and stop talking.
Yeah,
yeah, that's the thing. So people are like, listen, just stop it, man. And they're like, why do you insist on calling out YouTubers? It's embarrassing.
Exactly.
You're already thinking of your excuse to pull out the next fight. Kind of vibe.
How many fights has he pulled out now?
I think it's 2 now. I think. Yeah, I think 2 fell through.
That's 1 too many.
Yeah.
And besides, you're a professional. Like,
is he actually a professional though?
He's a professional.
So how come he's gone into this? Well, because of Love Island now, he's gone into this.
Yeah, and I think
YouTube
because he was
realm.
called out. He was called out by... Who was he called out by? Did someone else call him out before Jake Paul?
I'm not sure. That's his own issue. If he wants to be taken seriously as a boxer, he shouldn't have.
Yeah, 100%.
Love Island.
All right, this show, we finished reviewing it, but somehow it just stays in my lips. I'm not gonna have a break until the next season starts because I'm gonna keep talking about these people. But Love Island update. So Andrew and Tasha apparently got matching tattoos. It was a rose. What I can see is a rose behind Tasha's ear. I haven't quite seen Andrew's one. Don't know where his would be. But they were basically there. His wrists. Oh, his
like on his
back of his hands.
Mm.
Yeah, so they're basically there together, which is cute. I think they're doing really well. I did say that since coming out the house, Andrew has got sauce. He's looking like a premium white guy. Can't lie to you. So they're still doing the cuteness thing. Luca and Gemma are finally official in what is the most dramatic Be My Girlfriend video I've ever seen in my life. It looked like a proposal because I was thinking, I know this guy's not proposing to her. They had a drone to capture it all, a videographer to capture it all. He had lots of roses everywhere and out in the pool. The pool, he didn't even ask her. He said, "Be my girlfriend." It was just a whole bunch of everything. And then he got her £6,500 Cartier bracelet.
Ridiculous.
But apparently, so we know from the house that he said, the villa, that he was waiting for permission from her dad, I guess. And apparently her dad is in Portugal, so he's flown out there to get his permission and blah, 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 blah. They're moving like this is the Godfather. And this is
I saw a picture of them together. It was
dramatic.
Michael Owen, Luca, Gemma, the mom, they're all like...
all together.
Yeah.
But so they're finally together, and her caption said finally... what she said? She said finally, and finally official. Thank you, Luca Bish, for a special night. And he also said, I know last time was funny. And then she also said, he also said as well, captioning finally, and they showed little bits of it. It all seemed a bit very dramatic to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a girlfriend.
Is this guy using all his savings to buy this thing?
But apparently, though, the streets are saying...
Go on.
Sorry, the streets are saying that he's not like a fishmonger. Like, in my mind, it's Billingsgate.
Yeah.
But they're saying no, like his family actually, like he's got money.
Yeah. Luca wasn't giving me the impression he had no money.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was because of the jokes that Sterling kept making. The man sells fish. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was like a fishmonger, like a high street shop.
Okay.
But apparently his family
it's a family business.
Loaded. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Might even be a millionaire, they're saying.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So so he comes for money as well. To be fair though, I think coming out of the villa though, he looks like it.
Yeah.
And not just because of Love Island like status, like seeing him in his own clothes and stuff, like just outside of the villa. I think people look nice outside of the villa anyway. But seeing him in the world, he looks like money.
And also, do you feel like if he was just a regular fishmonger, that Gemma would actually take him seriously?
I think for the show she would have.
Knowing who she is and where she comes from.
Yeah, but I think for the show, because you gotta play the game, remember?
Yeah.
But I feel like she would have dumped him after.
Yeah.
But then again, he might have money now because it wouldn't be Gemma's money.
Yeah, because one of the reasons why she may have taken him seriously because she knows he comes for money or he has money as well, as opposed to thinking that he might try to leech on her, innit?
Yeah. For a guy that has money, he needs to stop acting so insecure, man. It's not cute. and then the last bit, which I'm hoping, I'm hoping it's not what people think it is. But basically, at the moment, Ekinsu is in LA doing a shoot. I'm not sure what for. But Davide went to the KSI and the KSI fight. We call it KSI fight. KSI fight, and he was seen, captured on camera, leaving with 2 blonde babes. Again in a cab. I hope the camera's showing Iman's face because this is appalling. So obviously, it's that speculation of like, why are you with two girls?
Yeah.
So what's her name? Ekin hasn't said anything about it. Sister's just doing what she's doing. Her shoot.
It's completely innocent, man.
Sorry?
It's completely innocent. They live
be.
They live in the same area, so they've done a Uber pool.
Nah, I don't think. I'm not buying that.
Why?
I'm not buying that.
Why?
No.
Why?
That's it.
Why?
That's my answer and my reason. No.
They done an Uber pool.
If that's my man, I'm not buying it. But then to be fair, I did say as well, with Ekin and Davide, since they come out the villa, whenever they're away from each other, they always do some kind of post on Instagram. When I say these people are my king and my queen in me to death. Everything, my king, my queen, my queen. Gosh, rest. But anyways, usually they'll post each other and be like, oh, I miss you and blah, blah, can't wait to see you. Silence. So I just hope anyway that this is not what people are saying it is. Because in all honesty, Davide, Ekin is the one with the bigger name. Ekin is the one with the bigger clout, with the bigger fame. She's even known in LA. She had like pictures of people who know her and all that kind of stuff. I think Davide is going to be relevant for as long as he's with Ekin. So I hope he doesn't fumble the bag this way. And then my last bit of Love Island's news. Amy, who was from a previous season, the season with Curtis, the girl, the famous babes, who said, I was coming back here to tell you that I loved ya. She's pregnant. I'm so happy for her.
Congratulations.
Her love life has not been the best thing. But yeah, she's pregnant. So she recently announced that she was going to freeze her eggs. So she actually did it. She spent £15,000 freezing her eggs over 3 separate rounds in the chance of being a mum one day. And her boyfriend, Sam Rayson, they've been going out basically for like a year. He looks like a very lovely guy and she looks very happy and everything. And they moved in together. But then she went on Loose Women and she announced that she's actually pregnant. So she didn't even get to use her frozen eggs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she said they were going to try next year. But it just came as a surprise. She recently turned 30. I said she had to kind of hide it from her friends, really. And then because I guess she's known for like being like a party babe kind of thing. So they were like, "Oh, you look sober." So she has to start doing crazy things like dancing on the floor and whatever to make people not suspicious that she's pregnant. But I'm very, 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 very happy for her. Amy's been through a lot. I remember when she came out of the villa, she went on Loose Women. So I think it's also nice that she announced it on Loose Women. And I know there's been talks about her being one of the casts, being a host on there, but I don't know if that's gone far. But yeah, because when she came out, she went on there. So she's kind of gone through her progress of healing and everything she's had to do on Loose Women. Because they made a very, very nice environment for her. So I'm very happy for her, man. I'm very, very happy for her. I'm glad that she's in a good relationship and she's pregnant and yeah. But yeah, onto black excellence, black news. The girls are so happy about this. Our babe, our top babe, Melissa's wardrobe is, I was going to say pregnant. Oh my gosh, sorry. She's married. So she got married over the weekend and it looked absolutely amazing. It looked on brand. It just looked like basically Melissa is known for it's a lifestyle hun. It literally looked like the luxury you would just put to Melissa. Stormzy was there, you know, she styled Stormzy, so of course he was there. The Murky guys were there. Headie 1 was there as well. Of course, she's besties with the Receipts ladies as well. So Audrey was there. Tolly was one of her bridesmaids. It looks absolutely amazing. Like she didn't do too much, but she did everything. Like her dress was just stunning. Her reception wear was just stunning. And then also what they did was they took people's phones. They had a no phone policy.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously people, you take your pictures before, whatever, but they weren't allowed their phones. So we did not know she got married until she put out. Rochelle Humes, who is friends with Melissa as well, she kind of posted something that I guess ruined it before Melissa posted it, but I didn't get to see it ahead of time. Because so she had a picture of obviously what she wore, as in what Rochelle wore. Yeah. And she said, it's so nice to see your friends get married, blah, blah. Congratulations, I'm Melissa's wardrobe. Oh. But then Melissa, I know, it's one job. But Melissa announced it anyway herself and had a little trailer video. Go on the profile, see it. It's absolutely just beautiful. Like I'm really into like minimal type of weddings these days, where people aren't doing the absolute most. And to be fair, I'll be honest as well, this whole look of not really not showing your husband, it's appealing to me a little bit. I like it. I'm here for it.
She posted.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because when I saw it, the guy wasn't in.
Yeah, you don't see a husband. Okay. Yeah, he's more of a business. He's a businessman. So he's not really in the limelight in the way that she is.
Dude, has anyone seen her? Like, as in,
it's more of like if you know him.
But do we have to end all this stuff, man?
No, I feel like it's just started. So basically, there's a YouTuber. Well, she's a presenter. Her name is Bissy Atkins. Yeah. She got married recently. Yeah. So I think it was last week she posted a video. Literally, when I tell you, I've got so much PTSD from the YouTube girls doing pranks of marriages and engagements. I thought it was a bridal shoot, like she was doing it for some kind of company. But she got married. And you could not tell anything. But hers, to be fair though, was very excessive. So she had a video, like a you know the wedding trailers, right? A wedding highlights video, right? But it said her name. And then they blurred out her husband's name. Yeah, that was the one thing. And then in part of the snapshots of the video of the wedding, she says, "Oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe I'm married to blah 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 blah." Like I actually know who it is, but I don't want to say it just because I'm trying to respect her. But no, because you know what I mean. I'm trying to be respectful of people's privacy, even though you can find out if you want to.
Yeah. But who's the girl you're talking about?
Bissy Atkins.
Who's that?
She's a presenter. Okay. She did Afro Nation as well. Like she's a proper presenter. And she does like a lot of Afrobeat shows and stuff like that. But so then she says his name. In the video, it's censored. Yeah. As in how Brent beeps stuff on the pod.
No, but that's what I mean though.
That I can't it's a bit excessive.
Don't we need to stop all this?
Because basically, not only is it beeped, but her mouth is covered. Yes. Like it's blurred out and it's so funny. And then in her caption, where she's you know when you have different slides of what happened, and then she did like a little breakdown of what each slide was. The third one was like something like Bissy Atkins and which is her husband. It's like asterisks. I said, God, but the internet found out.
We live in a day and age where you can't even proudly just show your partner because of you know what I mean. It's sad. I think it's sad. Personally.
I think it's sad.
So that's the question I'm leading to.
Yeah,
men. All right. If your other halves were notorious celebrities in that regard, and they decided that they were going to do that, give you the same treatment, would you accept that?
Oh, that's why. And then based on her answer, we can go from there.
Okay. Manuel?
100%.
As in what? You'd accept it?
I'll accept it.
Because you would want to basically...
He's like, I'm just happy to be here.
because if
I missed
knows
it.
I was there,
yeah?
If he's like, if nobody knows I was there getting married, nobody knows I'm married.
Okay. It's simply because there's certain things.
Said, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Makes sense.
No, there's just certain things, right, that certain people want to keep private because you've seen how the internet treat people's families and people's kids.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's sad.
Yeah, exactly.
That you have to hide your family, your partner because of other people on the internet.
I'll be honest with you. That's not why the women are hiding.
Oh, why?
Why?
a lot of times women are hiding because I don't want anyone coming to me as a woman. And that's what I think the most sadness is.
That's also sad.
Because how can I not trust my man? How can I not trust that you're so faithful to me that I'm scared?
That's also sad then.
I keep telling y'all, on the count of 3, everybody show your man, let's get down to the truth. I would rather know that you're an idiot, that you're out here embarrassing me, than me hide you and it can go longer. It can go on for longer.
That's sadder.
Yeah. That's sadder.
What's sadder?
What you're saying is sadder.
No, it's not.
It is sadder that a woman.
Because
no, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant me saying, show him.
No.
I'm saying the fact that she
yeah.
can't show him because of the fear that he might be doing something else, or that's sad. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's the saddest.
But do you think that's really the
Sir,
case?
I'm a woman that is. I'm not doing this with you today.
I would argue.
It is.
Just imagine,
It is.
you can't comprehend it, right? But I can actually see it, especially if it is that you are hyper visible.
Yeah.
Really hyper visible.
I can comprehend
because
it.
that could ruin your entire wedding. No?
Yeah.
And of
your
course,
life going forward, isn't it?
Yeah, because you just got married. It's too late now.
And for people like that, their wedding would be on social media. Like everybody be talking about it.
Yeah.
So if you've now put yourself out there saying I'm off the market, and your husband is a wally,
He's a thought.
Yes. That will finish you.
Yes.
But just collapse.
But then are you saying that these women know that these men are like this?
Yes.
And that's Brent, and that's the thing.
You see,
Because that's the saddest.
That's the saddest.
That's the saddest.
on a hierarchy, yes.
Because then they're not going into their wedding 100% happy.
Exactly.
If they have doubt that their husband's being faithful.
So, and that's why I can't necessarily believe that that's the case. I find it hard to believe that that's your starting point. You know this guy is like this. I'm going to marry him anyway, but let's keep him from the public.
It's just that fear, because my thing is, like, the reason why I wouldn't show my partner, I'm not secretive. I'm very private about who I date and blah, blah. But that's just because I'm like that anyway. I like to enjoy things for myself. Do you get what I mean? And I'm not really a public. I don't share a lot of my life, so I don't really have to share that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But to be fair, I think even the more I grow, it's going to be a thing where if you know him, you know him. But I don't think it's going to be a thing where like I go out of my way to hide him. Like, I can't have a wedding and he's not... When I talk... So basically, this girl's video, I'll send it to you guys after so you can see what I'm talking about. In her videos, you don't even get a glimpse of this man.
Yeah.
She walks... You know when you walk into a wedding reception and like, they do the announcement?
Yeah.
It looks like she walked in on her own. So I was thinking,
that's crazy.
How conscious were you during your wedding that you enjoy your wedding? Because it looks as if you guys would have done your Mr. and Mrs. walked in, and then you had to do yours again, so you can capture that moment for social media. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are saying that basically, if you're gonna hide your partner to that extreme, why are you putting on social media?
Yeah,
exactly.
What's the point?
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that's what
and I
think
believe
too.
that because I think if I'm gonna have my partner to that extreme, actually, to be fair though, if I want to share married, I'm gonna share married.
But then you could just do like, can't they just do like a picture of for example, her and her husband with their backs turned, facing the sunset or something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one needs to know who he is.
I mean, the right girl will know whose ear that is, but...
Oh my gosh.
You're right.
No, this is sad, man.
We're living in very, very, I really believe it's very, very sad times.
No, but the way you see people drag people on the internet, I don't
No, but
blame
you know what?
these
No,
people
but that
doing
only
this.
happens.
Yeah, but that only happens if there's a reason to drag you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but sometimes it's the internet's not rational.
If
they do this all the time, they even do it to kids.
But what I'm saying is, if a woman posts her husband,
and
he's not cheating, not doing anything else, what's the reason?
What are they dragging about?
Like, it could be anything. It's just like why were they talking badly about Blue Ivy? You know what I'm saying? Like you know
Yeah, but again, okay, cool. You're talking about being dragged. Maybe your suit's baggy or something. You mean like
just
oh my gosh,
it could be anything.
Over the weekend, some guy proposed to his girl,
Yeah.
Beautiful ring, like it was a rock, right? Beautiful ring, nice flowers, all nice, but his nails were long.
His nails were long.
His nails. No, it used to be absolutely disgusting.
No, I hate nails long nails.
It was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
And then basically, you know, like women have this whole thing about, our nails have to be nice.
Yeah.
That's I think if you propose to your girl and her nails are not nice, I think you hate her. If she doesn't get her nails done regularly, that's fine. But it's just someone who like takes pride in a manicure and whatever, and you propose to her without fresh nails, you hate that woman. But anyways, so obviously like you can see her nails from it, blah, blah. And then you just see like his is the same length as hers.
Wow.
It's disgusting. And then someone was like, he said his nails have to feature it too. See, something like that you can get dragged for, I guess.
See what I'm saying? Little things.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to hiding, I don't even think so much. I don't think people are doing it to protect their partner from like dragging. I think there are some people who do it from privacy reasons. But I do think with a lot of women, it's that you don't want people in your business, and sometimes as well, people just make up fake stories as well. Like, oh, he texted me, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I can get that, but then you have to be of a certain position, in my opinion, to be there for people to do that. But I also think that sometimes you're hiding because you know what that man's about.
Maybe, yeah. I can see why you see it. Say that. But I just feel like it's crazy to think, you know what he's about, I'm gonna marry him anyway.
Yeah, but
then I'm just gonna.
But that's the way of
that's women happens, for you, innit?
It's not women for you, it's men for you.
What?
We talked about this off camera the other day when I said how the thing is like when a guy does a woman wrong, we're talking about women who are in a situation for years and years and years and it doesn't move further, right? And I was saying how is because men know what to do to keep you sweet. Like they know exactly what to do to not make a woman leave. They're not giving you everything you're asking for, but they're not giving you too little for you to leave. That's my opinion, right? So I say that men know exactly what to do. When guys cheat and whatever, waterworks. Mark's took us down the production values and that. It's the waterworks is that I'm not gonna do this again. It's all, do you get me? It's all that stuff that goes into it. So with the woman, it's like, okay, they're more forgiving. Do you get me? Because I think a lot of women may have an inkling or whatever, but sometimes you don't really have proof. But sometimes you know that this person is capable of doing this. I don't think ownership is taken away from women for staying in situations that if they're not truly happy in. I believe it's both parties. But I also know how manipulative men can be. In situations. And I think that sometimes it's very difficult when you're in a situation to be able to be about your wits, to know that actually, no, this is dead and be able to leave. It takes a lot to snap out of your fairy tale and snap out of the good things here and there and actually sit down and be like, actually, there's this much good, but there's this much bad. It takes a lot to be able to do that. And some men can be so threatening you with all sorts. It's actually ridiculous. It's the things the guys are doing out here, they're embarrassing, y'all. But yeah, so congratulations to Melissa's wardrobe. Very, very proud of her. No, very, very happy for her. And it just looks amazing. And then also over the weekend, there was a video. Pogba's brother.
Yeah, Mafia's Pogba. So before that, actually, hold on. So basically, the French authorities are investigating a case of attempted extortion by an organised gang with regards to Paul Pogba. Pogba has told police that he was trapped by childhood friends and two hooded men with assault rifles who demanded 13 million euros from him.
Okay.
And Paul Pogba has said that one of those people is his brother, Mafias. So his older brother, who's a twin, right?
Oh.
So then if you go on...
Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
So Paul got approached, or was he taken?
So from the story, it looks like he was approached maybe at his house.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact details.
And one of the guys was his brother?
Yeah.
Damn.
And then his brother put up a very weird... If you go to his Instagram page, hold on, let me type it in. Mafias Pogba. Okay. He's basically released like 5 TikTok videos, Instagram videos, all in different languages. So he wants to make sure he covers all different markets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, he released one in French, one in Spanish, one in English. He's basically saying he's going to reveal and expose his brother.
For what?
And this is what he released, was like a teaser. So he didn't actually reveal anything. He just said, I'm going to reveal things about my brother that would make you question whether or not he should be a role model to kids, whether or not he deserves to have this level of acclaim, notoriety, level of fame, whether or not he deserves to be, play for Juventus and be a star in the game. It's given hate, it's given bitterness. He's saying, I'm going to expose my brother, and after I tell you what I'm going to tell you, you're going to question whether or not this man should be held in this regard. I'm trying to say, but he hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah.
He also saying he's going to expose Kylian Mbappe as well. Paul Pogba's agent.
Mbappe?
Yeah.
Is he dead?
Is he dead?
He said Kylian.
Kylian.
Oh!
His first name.
Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, so he says he's going to expose that. So obviously everyone's speculating.
Yeah.
So why he's doing this? People are saying obviously he's bitter.
He's just on money.
Saying that, Pogba hasn't when you've got a sibling who's living a certain life, you also believe that you deserve to live that life as well. And maybe Matthias is not living the life that he believes he should live, being Paul Pogba's older brother, because he's not like doing this behind closed doors. He's on Front Street.
Listen,
this is on his Instagram page. This is not like he's sitting down with a paper. Hello, my name is Matthias Pogba. I am a professional footballer. I am brother of Paul Pogba.
Oh, so he's a footballer as well?
Yeah.
So get your money out.
Oh, no, but he's not of that tier.
And whose fault is that? He's even older than Paul.
That's God's fault.
Agbaya.
Yeah, so he's not hiding behind any.
Okay, yeah.
He's not wearing a balaclava with his voice distorted.
Mm.
No, I am Matthias Pogba. I'm going to expose my brother Paul Pogba. Tune in next week.
But you know what it is though?
Yeah.
So I was showing the video, right?
Mm.
And looking at the video, I felt like this is a cause for concern. He looks like he's doing it under duress.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking, one, I feel like this is highly weird. It's very weird for you to do it in this manner. And I felt like maybe the group who are extorting Paul are also threatening Matthias.
I believe
maybe
that.
with his life or whatever. With
because he looked like, because he was sitting behind like a desk. Yeah, he looked like he was reading something off, and it looked like if you don't say what we're telling you to say in a piece of paper, you're going to be harmed. So when I had to say to them, I said,
it's given hostage situation.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you obviously we don't know the ins and outs of their family dynamic, but from the outside looking in, it looked like Paul and his brothers had a great relationship.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like. They're always online together, dancing. There's a famous video of them dancing for like 5 minutes together. There's always joy and happiness amongst them.
Exactly.
So to me, this is very out of the blue. So maybe Matthias is being told to do this. Like he's doing it under duress, or he's just a disgruntled family member who wants money.
Right. I feel like he's doing it under duress. Because that video, I said this man there's a gun to his head.
Because this happens. Actually, no, this is totally related but unrelated. So, Aubameyang, he was robbed on the weekend.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard the story. So, obviously he's playing for Barcelona right now, isn't it? I think gunmen broke into his house, robbed him jewelry, robbed his money.
Damn, man.
I believe they beat him up as well.
Oh, no.
So yeah, that happened. But in terms of the extortion with family members, I think this happened to Adebayor.
Oh my gosh. So I was reading his story yesterday.
Yeah.
I saw someone put an article out that he wrote when 2013, I think.
Yeah.
The letter he put out. I said, this is so, it was very, very sad, very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Very heartbreaking.
Adebayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got, I think it's by his brother.
It's by his brother, his mum,
yeah.
his sister, how he let her live in his house. And then she kicked out he let his sister and his half-brother live in the house. She kicked out the half-brother and then was renting out all the rooms. And then when he got there, he's like, what the hell's going on? She's insulting him and blah, blah, blah. Then he calls his mum to be like, look at what this girl was doing kind of thing. The mum is also insulting him. So it's a thing where like he's consistently helping them with money and blah, blah. But yet they still use that same money to insult him and be like, oh. And then he lost one of his brothers. And then he's got another brother, his older brother, I think, gave that one money to travel for the funeral, sorry. That one took the money, didn't go to the funeral. And then when he then said he was going to come for the funeral, they're like, oh, just send the money. Just send the money. Don't bother coming. Just send the money. And apparently the money that they took from him for the funeral did not match the money they took from him. It's very sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
But this Matthew guy, he looked as if Uncle was under duress. Matthias. Is that in French though?
As in Matthews is Matthew in French.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It might be, you know.
But yeah, so he looked like he was, because I saw the video, I said, how is this? Like, so I couldn't understand how people aren't concerned. Like how.
No, it looks concerning. It's so random.
And I'm like, how are people watching this and not seeing that this man is being blackmailed?
No, that's definitely a theory that he's being told to.
Because he looks uncomfortable. Because if you think about that, why does he have to read off a paper that who his name is? He knows his name. If I was gonna blackmail Brent, but listen, I'm a host on TDA, and this is this is why I know if Brent doesn't give me, Jim, it's very direct, but he looked like he was literally like like it's very weird.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the theory that Matthias is being told to do this until I see other evidence, because the way done it was just so weird. And also, why 13 million euros is such a random amount of money?
It's almost like, can he afford that? Is it 30 or 13?
13. It's just random. Might as well round it up to 20 or something.
Okay, Yusuf. All right, so moving on from that, Meagan Markle. So she had an interview with The Cut Very, very insightful interview, actually. I've read all of it pretty much, except the parts about their house and stuff. I don't really care about that. But yeah, she basically spilled a lot of information. As we know, Meagan, obviously, they're not part of the firm. They left the firm, which is the royal people them. So one of the biggest things that she spoke about was about how being part of the royal family, there's a way you can't just release pictures. So you have to give the pictures first to the press. And then they then give there's a royal rota, it's called, right? So you can't just release pictures anyhow. So this is a direct quote from her. She said, there's literally a structure by which if you want to release photos of your child as a member of the family, you first have to give them to the royal rota. So basically, this is the UK media pool. So basically, before you can post anything on your Instagram, it would have gone out in the UK press first, and then you would get it, basically. So she was saying that, so obviously before she started, we know she was on Suits, she's an actress and all that great stuff. So she had her own Instagram and whatever, and she had a blog as well called The Tig, where she does that lifestyle stuff, yoga, all that kind of great stuff. She enjoys sharing that part of her life. But obviously when she then started doing Harry or whatever, she couldn't do a personal Instagram anymore. She then was sharing one. It was called the Kensington Royal. So Harry, it was on their accounts, 4 of them. Kate, Will, Harry, and her, right? Yeah. So it's called the Kensington Royal. So that's how pictures would have, because any picture they wanted to put out, they give it to the people first. They put it out in the UK press, and then it goes to that. So anyways, this was around her child when they had their child. And she's talking about like releasing the pictures. Obviously, she didn't want to give, obviously when the UK media absolutely doesn't like this woman. They don't. I think apparently with the way they introduced her to the British was that Harry's girlfriend is nearly almost straight out of Compton.
Wow. Okay.
Wild. Very wild. So so this is how the Daily Mail introduced her, by the way. So so she said about giving pictures of her child, she said, why would I give the very people that are calling my children the N-word a photo of my child before I can share it with the people that with the people that love my child? So why would I give the very people that are calling my children the N-word a photo of my child before I can share it with the people that love my child? So she said, you tell me how that makes sense, and then I'll play that game. So I just thought that was very, very sad, disgusting. That because obviously we know what the British public were like when it comes to Meagan anyway. So she spoke about that as well. She also spoke about obviously when they then decided to step away from the duties or whatever, they then created their own Instagram account, which is the Sussex Royal. So it was just her and Harry on that. Because remember they were the Prince and Princess of Sussex. So she basically broke their own news about when they wanted to step away from the royal family. And really what they wanted to do really wasn't even so much to give up everything. So they said that at the time, obviously, she said she wasn't, the bullying, all that drama with the press, all that stuff was just a bit, it was just basically a lot. So what they really wanted to do was kind of step away from like, just not, they didn't want to be doing too much, but they didn't mind doing something. So apparently what they wanted to do isn't something that no one else is doing. Apparently they're royals within the monarchy or whatever who already do that. Okay. But I guess because it was them, they just didn't want them to do that.
And they're more important though as well. Like them other royals, we don't give a crap about them.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. So they basically said as well, because obviously you remember as well, they were doing the home they were gifted when they got married. They had to redecorate it, which everyone does, right? But the British public, because they didn't like her, made it seem like they were doing the absolute most, and they had gold toilet, and she was creating a yoga studio, and she was like, none of that was true. So she said that basically what they wanted to do was they wanted to step away from being funded by the taxpayers. So they said that they would they wanted to remove taxpayer funding from the equation. So they wanted to be allowed to work, and they will still do stuff on behalf of the monarchy, but they make their own money. Okay. Yeah. So they were like, they're thinking, if everyone's constantly cussing us for money that we're doing this and we're doing that, and we're constantly under the microscope, let us just work for ourselves, fund our lives. We will still represent the monarchy and do the Commonwealth stuff, all that stuff. But we don't want to be funded by the taxpayers if we're going to be insulted by it every time. And basically they said no. They also said that they would like to live. So when they wanted to leave the royals in that way. They said they wanted to live they wouldn't mind living in any Commonwealth countries. So Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, they said they didn't mind. So just basically anything to just she said, this is her direct quote from her. She said, anything to because just by existing, we were obsessed with the dynamic of the hierarchy. So we said, okay, fine, let's get out of here. And we're happy to. So they basically wanted to, they said they weren't trying to reinvent what the royal family was. They just wanted to make it as comfortable for them as they could. And at that time as well, she was obviously struggling with her mental health. They made it very, very clear that she was struggling with her mental health and nothing was done to help that. She said, for whatever reason, it's not something that all the plans they came up with wasn't something they were allowed to do, even though several other members of the family do the exact same thing. She also said that the issues doesn't. She said her problems stemmed from her being American, so not necessarily her being a Black American. She said her desire to ask a lot of questions and to never be involved with something she couldn't totally have a hands on seemed to violate an unspoken social norm. So she asked questions and all that kind of stuff. And she said, but she said she's aware of like the pressures, of, I guess being part of the family. Because she said also as well, so you guys remember that they took away their security detail. And then even though the press leaked where it was, they were staying, which is stupid, harmful. Like that is so unsafe. They didn't care. They didn't care for any of that stuff. So basically, when she had an interview with Oprah a month ago, she revealed that Tyler Perry is the one who actually helped them. So she said that when she was going to get married or whatever, Tyler Perry, she hadn't actually met him, but he reached out to her and said to her, congratulations. But he also said to her, like, I understand. I can imagine it takes, like, what you're going through is a lot. The changes, all that kind of stuff. And he said, if you ever need anything, let me know, because I can only imagine you like, obviously Americans hate the British for that because they see all the negative press she gets and they're thinking, why? Do you get me? And so he reached out to her and was very nice to her and, and all that kind of stuff anyway. And so so she started confiding in him, talking about, their struggles and what they were dealing with as a couple and blah, blah. And then he said, okay, do you know what? He then offered them his home in Beverly Hills. And in that home, it was basically like a safe house. And they actually had security. So Tyler Perry basically helped keep them safe. But then she said also as well, like for her, as much as she doesn't want to associate herself with a princess title because she knows that technically she's not a princess, but she's aware of the fact that young girls look at her and like, oh, it's a real life princess and young women and all that kind of stuff. She spoke about that and she said, she's met little girls who are like, oh my gosh, it's a real life princess. And she said, but her ambition for herself is bigger than just marrying into a position. So she said she looks at little girls and she just looks at them and she says, I just look at them, I look at all of them and I think you have the power within you to create a life greater than any fairy tale you've ever read. She said, I don't mean in terms of marry a prince one day. I mean, you could find love, you could find happiness. You can be up against what could feel like the greatest obstacle and then you can find happiness again. She also talks about how one time it was at the Lion King, what's it called? The London premiere of The Lion King. And a cast member from South Africa pulled her aside and he said to her, she said, he looked at me and he was just like light. He said, I just need you to know, when you married into this family, we rejoiced in the streets the same way we did when Mandela was freed from prison. She said, of course, she's no Mandela, but then telling the story for her was just a symbol of like the good and charitable thing she does and just how people see her. Like it's beyond, I guess this is the kind of stuff that keeps her going, I guess. Iman doesn't like he agrees with that.
Sorry, let me not talk.
But yeah, so basically, and then they ended the interview and they asked about, forgiving the royal family. I honestly feel so bad for her. I can't imagine like having living a life where you've done whatever you wanted to do. And she was saying how she wouldn't have minded them telling her what to do. She said, I'm an actress. Like my life, my career is for you to tell me, stand here, say this, do this and that. She said, I wouldn't have minded, but like with advice, it just felt like it was like a lot of she was met with a lot of hostility, and that's what made it difficult for her. And it just felt like if you guys were meant to be family, you guys are meant to be protecting me, but I'm telling you, I'm struggling with this and this and that. You don't care. And I remember, I think in the interview as well, I'm not sure if it was this interview, but I remember reading that apparently during the trips in the Commonwealth trips, there must have been a fire in Archie's room, but the nanny was about to put him down So apparently the nanny was from Zimbabwe. But he put him down and she thought, because you know how Africa, we wrap the children in our bags.
Yeah.
But she thought, actually, let me go and get a snack and then I'll come back and put him down. When she came up, there was room in the fire. So the baby could have been, and literally she said how the nanny was very emotional because she was literally like, her spirit just said to her, let me go and get a snack. Let me just get something to eat and I'll come back and put him down and watch him sleep for a while.
Yeah.
And then obviously they were all distraught because when everyone was upset and whatever. And they told them basically, yeah, that's sad, but next location, please. And she was like, can't you tell people that what's just happened? Like, our child could have died, could have been hurt. And they're like, no, you've got an appearance to make, so let's go. So yeah, I'll finish this and then I know you just say what you want to say. But yeah, so she was asked about, forgiving the royal family and her in-laws and all that kind of stuff. And even her own family, because her dad's been out here acting a fool. Acting a damn fool. But anyway, so she says, I think forgiveness is really important. It takes a lot more energy to not forgive, but it takes a lot of effort to forgive. I've really made an active effort, especially knowing that I can say anything. And then she obviously says, I have a lot to say until I don't. Do you like that? Sometimes, as they say, the silent part is still part of the song. So she's glad that, she can say whatever she wants to say as well. But even that is still, I guess it's still a bit draining, really truly. Iman, thoughts?
No, like, to be honest with you, like, I don't know enough about this whole story. Like, I haven't been that interested, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the way the media has treated it has been disgusting.
Yeah.
But I expect that of these people.
It's racism.
Yeah, they're racist to us as well.
Yes,
every day.
True.
I would never go to, say I'm her, right? Or just me. And I wanted to marry bloody, I don't know, Andrew and Fergie's daughter or something, right?
Yeah.
I would never expect them to treat me in the same way they treat Harry and the rest of them guys.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. And so when I hear all this stuff, right, I find it very hard to
give full empathy.
I give a big part.
Yeah, but you feel like she was a bit ignorant to go in there thinking it would be that.
Yes. And also, I believe when you're going into a family like that, you have to conform. You shut your mouth and conform. That's how I see it.
Yeah, but if I'm struggling and it's now looking like Diana all over again, there's only something I can't shut up. If you're questioning how dark my child is gonna be, calling my, and I'm seeing racist stuff even within the family, but again, I can conform if it's a good environment. If it's a hostile environment to live in, it's difficult to conform. That is now imprisonment.
Again, and this is what I find disgusting. I find it disgusting that many people in the palace. I know the Queen, from what I'm getting, is not part of this nonsense. But,
but she has the power to stop things. She didn't.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Like, I think that's a bit harsh. Only because I don't think there's enough evidence that suggests that she knew about certain things and she was behind certain things. I don't think so. Right. I don't think it was.
Know everything that goes on in that house.
Not necessarily. It happens all the time in certain families where you've got the head. Happened with the presidents, it happened with prime ministers, where you've got the head and there's other people. Because the whole thing is entrenched.
Yeah, but she's close to Harry though.
Who is? The Queen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Harry may talk to the Queen about certain things. But the way someone's treating Meghan, all of that is not, I don't think it's going to be fed back to the Queen. I don't think the Queen's going to necessarily hear that, you know what, these people are being racist to her.
Yeah, she would. If she's talking to her grandson, who she's really close to apparently, because Charles knew everything that was going on. His dad knew everything that was going on. His dad didn't even talk to him for ages. William's situation is as his hairline, so we know what he's like. But I think they knew. I just think it's a thing of like, this is how it is what it is. And that's a privilege they have there because they're not black. They can't understand these things.
But I think also it's down to, because I'm just trying my best to see it from both angles, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time we just agree with one side and just, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not invested in this at all. But so I'm just trying to see it from both sides. Yeah. And my thing is, sometimes certain environments are just entrenched with a particular mindset.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not always about color. Yeah. Sometimes it's just about, this is what we do. And everything in this family is about duty. And the Queen never asked to be the Queen.
Yeah.
She said, well, I'm not sure she said many times, but she never thought she would be the Queen when she was young, when she was just a princess. She was a regular somebody who was never going to be in the throne. You know what I'm saying? Till events changed. Huh?
Dad was the king.
Yeah, but he was only the king because his older brother kind of left it. Left for a woman.
That's true. So it wouldn't have got to her. That's true. Actually.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, all of this is her accepting it because of duty. So a lot of their personal desires you put aside. And the way I am as a person as well, I'm similar. So it's kind of a thing where in my culture, for example, if I'm the king, if I'm a prince of a particular thing, I may not like certain things, but I understand that if my people, my lineage has been doing something for 1,000 years, who am I? I'm just saying my thinking. Who am I to say I'm just not going to do it no more? No, I don't see life that way. You know what I'm saying? I believe I have a duty to do a particular thing in a particular way, unless us as a people can say, you know what, let's change this. And right now, the royal family doesn't look like them as a people are willing to change anything. So my thing is, like, unless she was badly prepared by Harry or by everybody else, I don't know, man. Like, you have to expect these from these people. Look at what they did to Diana. She's white.
I don't think, this is something, and that's the thing, because I don't think that this is something that, I think it's from a place of privilege. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I just think that you never know how you're going to be until you're actually in that situation. I can empathize with her because first of all, like she's American, right?
Yeah.
I think with Diana would have had an inkling that, okay, this is what, I think you can never, I don't think coming into the family as someone who's not a royal, you can ever prepare yourself enough for how like strict things are going to be, right? How much your freedom is literally taken away from you. I don't think you can ever prepare yourself for that. For me, I look at it and I think that is jail. Like that is jail. It is. The people that Megan speaking out, from what I've read about Diana and her friends and all that, the stuff that she's spoken about, to see where it then led her, it is imprisonment. Even Harry is trying to get away from it and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's imprisonment, yeah? So I don't think you can ever prepare yourself enough. Even if they told her like, this is what it's going to be like, blah, blah, I don't think it's that. And I think if I was a queen and this is my, this is how I know things are done, I would have empathy knowing that you're not from this, so you can't understand. And she's American as well. So for them, what you say about princesses and the royal family, the royal family get good press. It's the UK people that are really woke, that know what they really be about, right? So her going in there, I can see why she would have got in there, quote unquote, naive, to think that this is all going to be what it is. But my thing is, how can we expect her to deal with it when even Harry, who was born into that, can't handle it? And I personally don't think that just because this is how it's always done means I should then follow suit. I'll be honest with you. When I think about I have one life, on this earth anyway. I have one life on this earth, and I'm going to live every day in misery because these people are miserable every single day. No family name, no kingdom is worth me living a miserable life every single day. That is wild to me.
I 100% agree with you, but then I will say to that person, then leave.
And I did it.
Yeah, but don't tell me that you want some of the stuff.
No, but them saying they want some of the stuff it wasn't going to benefit them because they didn't enjoy any of it.
Well,
it was to help. It was for the monarchies to think, okay, we're going to leave, but because you guys have made it such a big deal, your duty, we will still perform our duties.
It's okay.
But we don't want to, they end up leaving anyway.
I would say it's okay. But see,
I think you're not understanding how, I don't think you're fully understanding how bad people's mental health can get.
It might be that. It might be because, like I said in the beginning, I don't know everything. But just from what the limited I know, which maybe I should just keep my mouth closed because I don't know enough.
Yeah.
But I just feel as though, me personally, I'm just talking about what I would do. If I felt like they would treat Diana like this, how much more me? That's what I would think. And if I know Diana's story before I even know Harry exists, or I know Harry exists and I have the opportunity to speak to him about how they treated his mum, right? Yeah. And then read her books and watch documentaries. Why would I think anything's going to be different? Why would I think Harry has the power even to protect me?
Brent, are you changing the cameras?
You know what I'm saying? So
you fall asleep.
I would be thinking all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not saying that I can't empathize with her. I really do, but I just know how these Europeans behave, and I can't put myself in that position.
I don't think as well. I read somewhere. I think I read somewhere that she didn't really She didn't Google the family or do any of that stuff. I wouldn't.
But regular people do it. You won't Google the. You won't do some due diligence about the person you want to marry's family.
No. I'll meet them and figure that out.
No,
because
I've
said that when I marry a celebrity, I'm not Googling things because it's media stuff. You don't always believe that you can believe that stuff.
I'm not even talking about celebrity. I'm talking about regular folk. So a normal guy.
Yeah, but I'll meet the family and stuff. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. But you will also try and gauge certain things before you're committed and married.
Hey man, she could not predict the way the media was going to move about her.
I'm not saying she could predict that.
Because remember, like when she met the family, they were all nice to her. Everybody was nice to her. I don't feel like, do you know what I mean? I feel like if they were so horrible to her, she would have made it clear like, listen, I'm not trying to be a princess. So let's talk about this now.
Yeah.
She left this as she already started her duties. I don't think she could have seen this, but I also don't think that the gravity of someone's mental health, I don't think it's fully been understood here. Because to live every single day where she got to the point where she felt like she wanted to kill herself.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And she was losing weight, not eating, not all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And you've come from a life where you're an actress, you got your own career, and all of a sudden now you're subjected to people, the taxpayers financing your life, which is the rule. But then they're insulting you as if everybody else's life is not being financed this way.
Yeah.
Your sister-in-law is out here making stories up about you that you're making her cry.
Yeah.
When they're seeing stuff in the UK press that they can easily say, stop doing this, or that's not the truth. But they're not, because again, they want you to be the scapegoat. You're seeing people intentionally hurt you every single day. I'm leaving.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I would be. I would leave. I would leave as well, and I would leave and not expect anything of that family. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. But I think personally, I don't think I would have joined in the first place. That's how I see it. Yeah. I think there's enough evidence, personally, to suggest that I will not be treated in the way I think and hope I will be treated. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I personally see it. And I'm not saying that means she deserves it. She doesn't deserve it. I think it's disgusting. I think all these media people, the royal family, all these people that is basically in cahoots and allow this bugs to happen, all of them are animals. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as human beings, we have a choice. And I believe certain things, you have to know, at least do some type of due diligence, man. Like the royal family, their record, their history has been there for all of us to see, all of us to read.
Am I really going to know that history?
No, but you have to. This is the family you want to get married to.
I'm even here in this UK. There's stuff you can tell me about Britain. I don't even have a clue.
That's because you have no interest. You don't want to marry Harry.
No, but
once you do, you will do it.
Even like the British culture. I forget Elizabeth's name most days. Most days. I even get her husband confused. Is he dead now? Is he not dead? I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you were to marry, these things would change. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man.
You would change it. You would do some research. Like you know what I'm saying? Because your life depends on it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I see it. Yeah. Again, I 100% feel sorry for her. I believe her and Harry just need to do their own thing. Forget about the royal family entirely. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how
they're living good at the moment.
Good.
Kids are happy. Good. Life is good. They're doing a lot better.
Good.
They've got a Netflix. I think they signed 30 million, something like that with Netflix.
Oh, nice.
50 million with Spotify. She's got her podcast out now. They got some more stuff they're doing. So I'm glad that they got away. I think that I'm glad they did at the time they did, because even Harry said that how he knew he had to do something because he could see it going down he could see him losing her the way he lost his mum.
This is what I'm saying.
So I'm glad that they did something, and he's someone who was strong enough to do that, because I know for a fact Kate is miserable. So my last bit of news, goodness, this is the longest word I've ever done in my life. All right, my last bit of news, Chris Rock basically has revealed he had a show over the weekend in Arizona, and he said that he was asked to host the Oscars, and to which he declined. So as you guys remember, he was slapped at the last Oscars by Will Smith after he made a joke about what's her name? Jada looking like G.I. Jane. So he got slapped on stage, and he was presenting an award and got slapped. But anyways, he said in this is where people are kind of a bit upset. So he said asking him to go back, as in to go back to host Oscars, would be like asking Nicole Brown Simpson, OJ's ex-wife, to go back to the restaurant. I will take you guys there. I found out why it's relevant.
Okay.
It's because Nicole was dining at an Italian restaurant, and she left her sunglasses. The waiter, Ron Goldman, went to return it to her, and that's how they both got killed. Yeah. So he's saying, you asking me to go back is like, so if Nicole could go back in time,
she wouldn't
have gone back she wouldn't eat at the restaurant. Because obviously, do you know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah. So he's basically saying that. I mean, it's a wild comparison. I don't know how we got there, but I guess a comedian, you got to think fast. So I guess people are upset about that, but I don't know if they're upset because it's about a white woman. Because when Will Smith slapped him, people were against Will Smith. I'm against Will Smith for slapping him 100%. Personally. But so I don't know whether it's because it's a white woman involved now. It's I don't know. I don't know how you'll be feeling on the internet today. But yeah, so it's that. But I think it would have been cool for him to host the Oscars. But I think the slap was stupid, disrespectful. That I get it.
Yeah.
And then someone did, someone in the crowd did say talk about it. I talk about the slap, and he says that it did hurt, and he said that Will Smith did play. He did play Muhammad Ali at one point in his career. So he said, he's bigger than me. The state of Nevada would not sanction a fight between me and Will Smith. He basically joked about. And obviously, as I did report as well that Will Smith has done an apology video.
Yeah.
And he says that he's reached out to Chris Rock, and Chris Rock is like, I'm not ready to talk. And he also reached out to Chris Rock's mum and his brother because he knows them personally to apologize. But yeah, I get why. Yeah, I get it, man. Personally, I just think I get Chris Rock. I get his stance on it.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know if he makes any other jokes. I might be going to his comedy show over the weekend. So I'll let you know if he says anything else. But yeah. To the glory of God, that is it from me today. I'm talked out.
No, I forgot that you were even on one of the roads.
Bro.
I was like, when is this going
when we're talking about Meagan, I was thinking, where am I? What are we talking about?
If I didn't chime in, I thought, this needs to end. So I'm going to keep quiet so you guys can finish.
We're giving them content from Monday and Tuesday. All right, let's get into the People's Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. So, based on the economics, we've given you a lot of resources here. So I don't think we're going to get woke a joke this week, because we basically done woke a joke in the topic of the day.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, please understand. Anyway, so first thing I want to talk about, I'm going to be quite quick, is basically a poll has been done, and it's looking like nearly a quarter of UK adults actually plan on keeping off their heating this winter.
Boy.
Yeah, that's basically how drastic this thing is. Remember, like last week I spoke about the energy cap being raised by Ofgem.
Yeah.
And how it's going to increase from 1,971 to 3,541, which is basically an 80% increase, which is ridiculous. And also the fact that companies, businesses, smaller firms, things of that nature, they're not even benefiting that. It's crazy that I even call this a benefit, but they're not even benefiting from this cap.
Yeah.
So there's no ceiling. And this is why people have been given increases of like 10, 20,000 pounds, you know what I'm saying, for a year.
Yeah.
There's no way these people are going to really survive. So long story short, it's like because of this, people are actually saying, look, I don't think I'm going to even have the heating on. Just going to be wearing double layers and things of that nature, man. And using hot water bottles. And
that's very sad.
Yeah, and all types of stuff. Yeah, it really is crazy, man. Even it relates to kind of Sunak and Trust, because they basically said a lot of the help they're going to basically try and give families is based on like a windfall tax, which I've spoken about before. It's basically a tax that you're taxing a company or companies a bit extra based on extra profits that they benefited from a circumstance that they didn't create. Yeah. Basically, that's basically what windfall tax is. And at the moment, there's energy profits levy, which is 25%. So it's basically that whole thing there. But they're basically saying they're not considering extending this. So it's like, where is this extra money going to come from? You know what I'm saying? Or does it just mean that you're not looking to help with extra money? Because obviously there's no money, for you to get it from. So yeah, that's that situation. Like I said before, energy bills are causing smaller businesses to pretty much have to close, innit? Fish and chip shops, mentioned it the other day. Everyone's basically in trouble. Like even Belgium's energy minister has basically said that he believes EU countries will face 5 to 10 terrible winters. if nothing is done to reduce natural gas prices. 5 to 10 years, basically. This may be, the rippling effect may be there. Again, I've spoken about this before. Russia supplied the EU with 40% of its gas last year. 40%. This is why Germany was in the mud when this whole thing started. And obviously the British government have been trying to reduce it, or at least they're saying they've been trying to reduce their dependence on Russian gas, but it is what it is, and this is why we're in the situation we're in. But yeah, the Belgian minister, like I said the next 5 to 10 winters will be terrible if we do nothing. She said we must act at source, at European level, and work to freeze gas prices. I personally, like I've said before, just based on my, I guess my understanding and my where I've learned economics from, that school of thought. Whenever you freeze certain things, there's always a ripple effect somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And so it sounds good at the time, but a lot of these things are just temporary fixes. And so I think there just needs to be another way for the European Union and Britain itself just to try and find another way to rectify this situation. And the last thing I want to speak about is basically an update of what I was talking about last week when it came to pay disputes over which led to the bin strikes in Scotland. Yeah. Remember I was saying that obviously the pay increase was diabolical, at least from their perspective. And so they were like, look, we ain't cleaning the streets. So at the moment, a new pay deal has been made to try and settle it. 3 unions involved in negotiations are basically now discussing the offer. The bin strikes hit 2/3 of Scotland's 32 councils, right? And like I said before, obviously, as you can imagine, the rubbish is just building up in these town centres. Like it's literally, if you see some of the pictures, it just looks like it's just diabolical. Because people are still going to be living. People are still going to be doing what they're doing on weekends and whatnot. But they're just dumping the rubbish on top of bins, around the bins, all over the place. It's just terrible at the moment. Also, hundreds of schools and nurseries are scheduled to close for 3 days next week as part of the same industrial action in Scotland. The details of the offer to try and get all these things to stop haven't been given yet. Obviously, I'm sure we will pretty much hear about it. Apparently, unions are seeking an agreement similar to the one made to council workers in England, where they got like a almost £2,000 flat rate pay increase. You know what I'm saying? They say that offering a percentage pay rise would mean the most money would go to the best paid staff. And they don't necessarily want that. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously if you're in a higher grade and there's a 10% increase, for example, a bigger lump sum would be for those people than it would be for the people who have lower grades. So they're basically saying a flat rate is basically better. So yeah, hopefully they can rectify that. And if there's any updates, which I'm sure there will be, I'll be here to let the people know.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you. Rotation?
All right, let's go.
The rotation.
Probably not a good day for a long one because I feel like the show's already ran very long. But unfortunately, I do have a long one, but I'll try and make it as fast as I can.
That's fine. They're here for the content.
All right, let's start with BUJU. First and foremost, BUJU released an EP or project called Bad Since 97. Following up from 2021, Sorry I'm Late. For those who don't know, BUJU is a Afrobeat artist. He's the artist featured on Wizkid's Mood. Is it Big Mood or Mood? Mood. And also most recently on Propeller featuring J5 and Dave. All right, so this is 7 songs, 21 minutes. Features from Wizkid. That song was actually produced by Jules. So big up to Jules. He produced the Wizkid and BUJU song. One Day Cole and Olamide as well. Yeah. I love this album, you know. Yeah, I've listened to it so many different times over the weekend. Like it's probably been my most played project over the weekend. Wow. Like, I've rinsed it. And because it's quite short as well, I've just had it starting again. Short and sweet, mellow, low tempo, Afrobeat vibes, and that's my favourite type of Afrobeats. Great production, great vocals, lots of small dancing songs, you know what I mean? My favourite songs on there is Bad Since 97, Bad Man Wicked, Kenkele. Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe, people. It's a vibe. I feel like from hearing this, BUJU's ascended into my my upper echelon of Afrobeat artists.
Yes, love it.
This EP is short and sweet, but it's a real vibe.
Yeah.
Even the song with Wiz, I didn't love it at first, but as I played the album so many different times, it's now become like a favorite of mine as well. That song's called Many Ways. Yeah, nothing but good things to say about this, you know? Yeah, so this is definitely in the rotation. It's been in the rotation. I've actually got an Afrobeat playlist that I like to add songs to every now and again when I find those gems, and I haven't actually added to it in quite a while. But after listening to this EP, I've actually added 3 songs from this EP to my playlist, which I haven't done for quite a while. So shout out to BUJU for giving me some more songs to add to my playlist. So yeah, did you listen to it, Esther?
I did. I sure did. I absolutely loved it.
What do you think?
I didn't expect anything less than what I got.
Yeah.
Because BUJU is a vibe, man.
Yeah.
Like, at the moment, I think he's actually the best feature artist we've got. Like, every song he's on, he's got that.
Better than Thames?
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I've heard him more on features than I've heard. Like, BUJU's working. Between BUJU and Ashake, I don't know who's working harder. Do you get what I mean? Like, but every song that BUJU every song I've heard him feature on is really, really good. But I really enjoy this EP. It's a very easy listen. I agree with you. My favourite as well, the Kenkele one, I already heard that as a single.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm kind of used to that already.
Okay.
But I like the one with Wizkid.
Yeah.
I think they make good songs together.
Yeah.
I love Olamide. For me, I love Olamide so much that I feel like when Olamide co-signs you, you're a good person because he's like a little godfather.
Yeah.
I like Badman Wicked as well. I like In My Mind. Just liked it all.
Yeah, no, it's a vibe, man.
Yeah.
How many tracks again?
7
tracks.
So it's you know, when you got a project which is short, to me that signifies that it's all good songs.
Yeah.
There's no fillers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 7 solid songs. So yeah, definitely check it out, people. BUJU. Bad since 97. Check that out. 100%. All right, so last week we reported on a song, which was, we saw a video being shot. It was Ed Sheeran, Papoose, and Big Narstie. So I thought I'll report on that. It's actually Big Narstie song featuring Papoose and Ed Sheeran. The song is called Groundwork. All right. First of all, the collab is very random.
Yeah.
All right. And just from the optics, I'm thinking, okay, cool. We've got 3 very random artists. To be fair, Ed Sheeran and Big Narstie, they're not that random in terms of collab because Ed is from our scene.
Yeah.
And obviously Narstie is from back day. But I went in skeptical, especially from the little snippet I heard from the video they done behind the scenes. And yeah, this song is not great. I keep it a buck. For me, it sounds very dated, sounds very basic. It's given, and this is no insult, it's given 2012 SPTV. It's just given that. It feels like it's been sucked from a time capsule, basically. I don't really like the beat. I don't really like Ed's chorus or his singing. I don't like nothing about it. I don't like the melody. It's also given end-ups. The whole feel of the song, the beat, is just given end-ups. Narstie and Papoose's verses and flows was decent. Obviously, Papoose is a great rapper.
Yeah.
But obviously, he wasn't in his super lyrical Papoose bag, but
super lyrical miracle.
Yeah, he gave the song what the song needed. And Narstie, you know, Narstie's got that flow. So Narstie's cool as well.
Yeah.
So those two in isolation were cool, but the songs, that's about it. The song's not great. I feel like it's a waste of Ed Sheeran. When you got Ed Sheeran is arguably one of the biggest artists in the world, right?
Yeah.
So if you get the opportunity to have him on your single, I think you should make a count and utilize him to the best of your abilities and make sure the song that he's on is the song.
Yeah.
And not some throwaway song, in my opinion. And obviously Papoose is hot right now and he's from the US and we don't often get the US and UK collabs. It's more often happens these days, but they're still scarce.
Yeah.
So you get Ed Sheeran, who's the biggest artist in the world. You get Papoose, who's American. You know, we don't normally see American UK collabs. And when you bring them together and you give us this is a weed plate. This is a 2-pack of ass. This is a 2-pack of ass, man. So yeah, this is not in a rotation. Even the artwork is given Windows 3.1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basic. So yeah, no for me. That's a no from me. All right, next. So Headie One released a single called Illegal, fresh off of the song I reported on a few weeks ago, Can't Beat Us, with Bando K and Abra, which I didn't put in my rotation to the dismay of a lot of the killies in the comments. And that's why
This is dismay.
that's why I've come back to talk about this one. Because y'all were in the comments talking about you shouldn't talk about, music to do with the streets. You should leave that to Marks, whatever.
But guess what? He's going to talk about it. Mr. Rotation.
So to be fair, there's a video as well. The video is giving part 2 to the first song. I believe there's like a continuation here. Same type of theme. Everyone's wearing red and that's the colour of the gang. And even the little skit at the end of the video is a continuation from the skit at the start of the other video. So I believe they're all interlinked. This beat is better than the last song. A bit more up-tempo, a bit more my speed. Even the way Headie is rapping, a bit more faster, a bit more up-tempo. I like that Headie as opposed to the slow, slurring type of Headie. And he gave us a lot more bars on this one as well. It's decent, nothing special. I'll put this one in my rotation though, just for the killies in the comments, yeah? Y'all can have that one. All right, quick report, quick song. I feel like I'm speaking about these guys too often. But I'm just going to quickly go through these guys. So we've got the Migos, right? Obviously,
I knew you was unconfused.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like every week we're doing Migos report, innit? So I'll just quickly go through it. So obviously, we know what's happening in the Migos right now. It appears to be a breakup. Obviously, you've got Offset beefing with QC and P. You've got Quavo and Takeoff doing the old Unconfused thing. And they've to me, they seem to be releasing music quite frequently and at the same time as well. So Unconfused released a song called Big Stunner, featuring Birdman, and Offset released a song called Code featuring Moneybagg Yo. I'm here to give an oracle theory. I'm not here to really review. So the songs are decent, nothing special.
Yeah.
Check them out. Yeah? That's what I have to say about that. The theory is, this is my theory. No, because I really want to talk about the theory.
Okay.
So my theory is, the Migos are actually cool with each other.
Yeah.
Right? Offset is beefing QC over the contract stuff, right? The reason why I think that they're cool is because I feel like they're releasing music at the same time on purpose.
Okay.
Because in the last 2 to 3 weeks, they've all released music on the same day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this coincidence or this is deliberate? I feel like they're using the breakup, they're using the separation to propel the music and to bounce off each other.
Okay.
So the same way I'm now reporting on both songs and tying them both together, which is giving them a bit more of a lift.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the reason why they're doing it. I reckon this is kind of like, I think it's kind of planned.
You think?
I might be bugging, but I feel like Takeoff and Quavo and Offset are in cahoots and are releasing music separately, but scheduled.
What's the benefits of that?
It's like capitalizing off each other. So,
like, we're both getting pressed kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're a Migos fan and the Migos are all releasing music at the same time, even though separately, you'll be more inclined to check both out.
Okay.
Like, for example, I only found out that Unconfused had a song because I was reporting on Offset and I went to go and check them out just to see what they were doing. And I saw, oh, they've got a new song out. Maybe. I just feel like they're releasing music too frequently at the same time for it to be a coincidence. I believe in the last 3 weeks, they've released songs all on the same day. But either way, both songs don't make the rotation. I just wanted to give my theory.
After all that?
Yeah, I just wanted to give my theory. They're both typical Migos songs.
Migos songs, yeah, that's the thing.
Typical Migos beat, typical Migos flow, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that you wouldn't expect.
And that's another thing. I feel like they should have come with different sounds, don't you think?
Yeah. I would say the Offset song Code is, no, to be fair, no. That's giving you the Bad and Bougie kind of sound. I feel like, actually, this is a question for you, actually. I saw this on Twitter. Who do you think is the Beyonce of the Migos?
Ooh.
Because people were saying that we've been made to believe that it's Quavo.
I think it's Offset.
But it's actually Offset.
But I fancy Offset, but my fanciness aside, I think it's Offset.
You think it's Offset?
Yeah. I think Offset, I think it's Offset.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think with Quavo, people think it's Quavo because I think his relationship put him out a bit more.
And because he does the hooks and he's the melody guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say if you were to separate them and to say who would have the most successful solo career,
Offset.
I would say Offset.
Definitely Offset.
So therefore, Offset is the Beyonce.
Because I saw Quavo released an album as well, and Offset did, but I feel Offset's one did really well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I think he done better.
He has some good tunes on there.
Yeah. So that's what I want to say. Really, I want to give my theory on that one. All right. Now to the big release of the weekend. You've got DJ Khaled.
God did.
With his 13th album. God did. You didn't believe in me, but guess what? God did. 18 songs, 57 minutes. Now, let me just refer to my notes because there's a lot of features on this one. It's actually crazy. So on this album, you've got Drake, you've got Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, John Legend, Kanye West, Eminem, Future, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, 21 Savage, Roddy Ricch, Quavo, Takeoff, Lil Baby, Drake again, Future, SZA, Nardo Wick, Cardo Black, Kodak Black, Don Toliver, Travis Scott, Gunna, Roddy Ricch again, Latto, City Girls, 21 Savage again. Then you've got his typical bashment song where he gets all his legends all the time. BUJU Banton, Capleton, is it Capleton or Capleton? Bounty Killer, Sizzler, Skilly Bang.
Oh.
You've got Juice WRLD, Jadakiss, Vori. Yeah, the list goes on. Well, it doesn't go on. It ends there. But
no Afrobeat artists.
Nah. Nah. You would think so, innit?
Yeah.
You think he'll try and capitalize on the buzz of Afrobeats and release maybe like a Thames or something.
Yeah.
All right. Where was I? In terms of producers, you've got what I would say are his most frequent collaborators. You've got Tay Keith, Street Runner, TM88, also himself as well. Also Dr. Dre is on there. He produced what's the song called? It's a song with Kanye West and Eminem. Use This Gospel.
Okay.
So Dre's on there as well. So yeah, all right. So there's a big story with his album, which I'll speak about in a second. But so to me, this album is just an atypical DJ Khaled album. His formula stays unchanged, which is to collate the biggest artists of right now, put them over what I would say, very generic hip hop beats of today, and just use their star power to just, propel the album. It's a decent album with a few standout songs, but it's just it's not, how can I say this? It's just so regular. It's nothing special.
It's what expected from DJ.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's just what I expected from Khaled, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big features, nothing special beats, the same typical, up-tempo sound, lots of drums, songs for the club, songs for the whip, songs for the gym. That's it. The standout songs for me, you've got Use This Gospel with Eminem and Kanye, God Did, which I'll speak about in a second, and then Way Past Luck was one of my favorite actually with 21. The way I tried to summarize this album, is it's just an album full of super album cuts. So super fillers. So you know what I'm trying to say? Like you've got your standout songs, but all the album cuts, obviously you've got album cuts which feature and Little Baby. Those are big artists.
Yeah.
But they're album cuts at the end of the day, innit? So it's just super album cuts from start to finish with a few standout songs. So the biggest song of the album, I'm sure everyone knows by now, is a song called God Did, featuring Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross and John Legend, right? So I'm going to base my review mainly on that song because, I'm going to speak more about that than the album. So the song is 8 minutes long.
8 minutes?
8 minutes long. It's far too long, in my opinion. Wayne and Ross almost become afterthoughts. You almost forget they're on the song because Jay-Z's verse is so long.
Lil Wayne and Rick Ross?
Yeah. Jay-Z's verse is 80 bars. And it's about 5 minutes long. It's very long. Yeah. I think, personally, the song should have been called Hove Did. And it should have been Jay-Z by himself. Or Ross and Jay take out Wayne, give Ross a longer verse, or give Jay-Z a shorter verse. I just feel like the song was poorly structured. You've got Ross comes in first, Wayne comes in second. Their verses are short and then Jay-Z just takes over. You literally forget that they were on the song. I'm telling you. You listen to the song, Jay's going, oh shit, my man and them man had verses earlier on. You completely forget. So I think, and obviously
8 minutes, that's long. It's giving my city. It's giving gospel.
And obviously over the weekend,
damn,
the whole narrative has been breaking down Jay-Z's verse. What did he say? No one's talking about Ross and Wayne. Because
you forgot they were on there.
They were on there, yeah. So yeah, it was very long. But and also before this song was released, DJ Khaled was on this rollout of saying that this is the best Jay-Z verse ever. Like he was really hyping the verse up in it. For me personally, it's not the best Jay-Z verse ever. But
I don't know why you guys would have believed.
Yeah,
Khaled anyway. He talks too much.
It's too much. It's a good verse. He says he's doing what Jay-Z does in 2022. He talks up the things, innit? He talks about where he is now, being a billionaire, the billionaires he's brought in. Rags to riches stories, how he got out of the mud, how he is where he is, talking about him and his guys, Rock Nation guys, and how they've kind of risen to.
So what we've heard before.
Yeah, we've heard it before in the last few years. But Jay-Z's rapping about where he is now, and he's almost, he's got his feet up. He's in his office. He's got his feet up, and he's won.
Yeah,
and he's talking from the perspective of someone who has won.
That's sick, though.
Which is sick, but it's not. It's not the best verse. It's just a long verse. And then obviously a big talking point is the bar. I see a lot of Hove in Gigs, which do you know who you're talking about?
Yeah, Gigs.
Gigs the rapper, right? When I first heard it, I was like, wait a minute, is he talking about? Talking about a gig, like doing a show? Oh, you're talking about gigs. Sick. So obviously
that's sick.
That's a great moment for Gigs, a great moment for UK music. Someone like Jay-Z acknowledging Gigs on that level.
People have said that as well. Anyway, he's kind of the UK's Jay-Z.
So yeah, that was a big moment. It's nice to see someone of that status recognizing and acknowledging someone that we look to as one of our goats. So that was a nice moment. I feel like that's one of the big talking points within the UK anyway about the song. But overall, I would say the album definitely makes a rotation because it's not a bad album. It's a good album. It's a good album, good songs, good features, some nice moments. But it's just
it's not exciting, is it?
Yeah, I feel like with DJ Khaled now, he needs to change his formula. I feel like you're giving us the same thing every single year.
Yeah.
It's like it's getting kind of boring, if I'm honest with you. Like, I would love to see him do something completely different. Feature artists that we wouldn't expect. Yeah. Producers we wouldn't expect. Sounds we wouldn't expect. Not the same thing over and over again. But I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
True.
So if he's, successful with his formula, I guess keep it the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, lastly, we'll stay on UK hip-hop and we'll stay on, SN1, a Gigs affiliate. Tiny Boost released his third project album since he's released from prison in 2018 called Street Paper. 15 songs, 45 minutes long, features from Rimsey, that's Brent's guy, A-Star, and D-Boy Low. I love me Tiny Boost, man. I love his energy. I love the aggression. I love his tenacity.
Yeah, same.
He's just, I just love him. Like, you can listen to his music when you're in the gym, driving. It's just, he's obviously talking about road life, street stories, street tales, crime, cruds. He's reflective as well, giving you perspective and his journey, also giving you the guns and the sex and the salacious stuff and the hard rap. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I love Boost. I love anything. I listen to anything Boost puts out. It just puts me in that in a mood.
True,
you know what I mean?
It's true.
Just the aggression, the way his voice as well is just so gruff. So yeah, that's definitely my rotation as well. It's called Street Paper. Check it out, guys, man. It's hard still, very, very hard. So yeah, man, that's it from me. So yes to BUJU, check that out. No to Big Narstie, Papoose and Ed Sheeran, unfortunately. Yes to Headie. No to, I'm not talking about Migos anymore, I'll be very honest with you. So this is the last you'll hear from me about the Migos. And until something big happens. DJ Khaled's album, definitely check it out. What I'm going to do is pick out some of my favourite songs and make a little short playlist from it. And then Tiny Boost, Street Paper, definitely check that out as well. So yeah.
Sick.
That's the rotation for this week.
Alrighty, thank you. Let's get into our last headlines.
Okay, so our last headline. Basically, the police have been told they need to start declaring their connection to any news reporters and newspapers. So police chiefs have been issuing secret orders telling officers to inform bosses if they know any news reporters, just like they would have to do if they knew any convicted criminals or extremists. The measure is already in place in some forces and follows guidance from the College of Policing, which sets the standard in law enforcement. It's part of an anti-corruption effort and only came to light by accident. The Policing Inspectorate is pressing the Met Police to introduce the measure. The Society of Editors, which represents newspapers and specialist crime journalists in the Crime Reporters Association, opposed the clampdown. One leading freedom of speech group said, "Freedom of the media is a bedrock of our democracy, and the tendency to see reporters as a threat rather than an asset is something we are more used to seeing with our work in authoritarian regimes around the world rather than advanced democracies. There's a concern that this order may put off officers wanting to whistleblow or who do not trust their bosses to act on complaints of wrongdoing." So within policing, some senior figures were surprised at the measure and privately opposed it. The measure is understood to be under review, and policing already has certain rules in place for those who pass on information in return for bribes. So yeah, that's one thing. And the very last headline, is something that Esther touched on earlier, and this is about KSI. and him defeating 2 boxers on the same night. It's the first time it's been done in history. So on Saturday night, KSI made a stunning return to the ring for the first time in 3 years as he made up for lost time by knocking out both rapper Swarmz and a professional boxer, Luis Alcaraz Pineda, on the same card. The British social media star seemed happy with how his event had gone as he tweeted afterwards, "What an event. From start to finish, there was entertainment throughout. Credit to all the fighters for getting in the ring. This is just the beginning for Misfits Boxing." KSI did call out a few big names like Slim Albaher, who also won earlier in that night, Tom Fury and Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, the one who's got off TikTok and stuff.
He called him out. So I guess...
is he a boxer?
Nah. All of these guys are not boxers.
Isn't Andrew Tate an ex-MMA guy?
If he is, I don't know.
That guy could kill him.
You know, I thought the roof was possible.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Andrew Tate will kill him.
Wow, okay.
Listen, KSI,
well,
man. Call me out, man. I'm ready for you, bro.
Yeah, that KSI.
Yeah, of course I did.
KSI.
Yeah.
But you might be in a different weight class.
Yeah.
That's
why I said it.
Yeah. No, I couldn't do it right now, but I'll train for it.
Jeez, KSI.
You would train for it.
Yeah, I'll train for it. Yeah, I couldn't.
You can do a Swarmz.
Right to today, if we to fight tomorrow, he'll beat me. He's been trained to box, but I don't box.
KSI, I think you need to take yourself up on this offer, man.
I'm on it, man.
Jeez.
He's an ex-kickboxer.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, is he? Okay. I was thinking this man was just out here doing podcasts about dumb shit. What's he about?
Yeah, that's the end of the headlines, man.
Alrighty, let's get into our outro.
Also, before we get to the outro, I have to say a few things about Carnival.
Which game?
Niggas need to put the balloons down, man. In general, people need to put the balloons down.
I know people are not learning.
Like, the amount of people I saw doing balloons, I saw people selling balloons, I saw people arguing with their friends about wanting balloons. I'm like...
Arguing with their friends?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such an ick.
I walked past 2 brothers arguing. One of them was like, "I don't want alcohol, man. I just want fucking balloons," or something to that. Right, and his friend looked at him and just walked off. But yeah, man, like, didn't a girl pass away not too long ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
And people are actually going brain dead. Like, this is a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people... Yeah, I don't know how people are still not understanding that. Don't be doing these things.
Yeah, I saw it too much. I'm like, right, people, like, these kids really need to understand this is not the way forward, man. So yeah, please, people, man, it's not worth it, man.
It's not.
The little high, the little buzz you get for those 2 seconds, whatever escape you're trying to do, love.
Because you're denying your brain oxygen.
Yeah,
and you don't know how your brain's gonna react.
Balloons can kill. Balloons can damage. Yeah, put them down, man.
One time I was going through the River Hive tunnel. I think I was on my way to a day party, and the guys in front of me. First of all, you know when you can just tell it's like young people in the car. They're speeding, being dumb.
Yeah.
They're doing balloons.
Yeah.
Including the driver. I said, Lord. I was so annoyed he went in front of me. I said, if anything happens to his car, I'm going to be affected right behind him.
Yeah.
So it was mad. But yeah, you guys need to stop. People stop doing that, man. It's actually scary what can happen.
Also, if I go Carnival again, I don't think I will. If I go Carnival again, I'm going to dress more age appropriate, man.
Why did you dress?
Not just wore a hoodie and a hat and jogging bottoms, but one guy thought I was his age mate, bruv. He must have. It's funny because I was walking with my girl and her cousin, right?
Yeah.
So he walks up to me and he goes to me, "Which one are you moving to?"
Babes, if you don't get... Me and you are not the same.
He thought I was his age mate moving to girls.
Me and you are not the same.
That's a big man. This is my girl, this is her cousin. I'm not moving to anyone. And he goes, has she got a man? To the cousin. I was like, ask her, she's right there.
What's my age? Nah, me and you are not the same, man.
So in my head, I was just laughing. What one are you moving to?
That is so funny, man. I don't want to make a scene, but your girl looks sensational.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in to the show. We appreciate you guys. Join the community. We were live this morning. We're going to be live further as we go on, isn't it, Brent?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Brent has got some surprises. Even we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see this.
Mm-hmm.
So join the community.thenewblack.com, and you can join the day after backstage access.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's where you get to watch the show live every morning with us. And you also get to do the day after instant reaction, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Instant reaction, yep. Day after instant reaction, we'll have conversations in there. We will be in the comments with you guys. So we want to tussle, let's go. I'm joking. But yeah, do all that great stuff, guys. Continue to support us, continue to help the show grow.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to the channel, like the video, join the community, tell your friends about it as well, share. Also, big up the people in the community that keep sharing links. You guys are really getting them badges. I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think those people. I think we should make a note of those people.
Well, you get a badge if you share a link.
Yes, if you share and people join, you get like bronze badges and stuff like that.
Share link
I think those people should get a prize.
Yeah.
I think they should get early access to like our next event or something.
Yep.
But are you talking about this, the list thing? You can just tick off all your achievements.
No.
You get to tick off
if you
your
send out
bronzes.
No,
earn
but this one you tick off yourself.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay.
The checklist, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nah, basically, if you send out the link, your invite link, if people join because of you, then you get like badges like bronze, silver, gold.
And some of you are really racking up the gold.
Yeah, but what happens when they get all the badges?
No, we just know, and then they get to come to the next TDA event.
Oh, so when they no, that's what
I'm just adding that perk now.
Yeah,
I just thought of it. I'm adding that. I think you guys are doing amazing sharing our content and with your friends. Like, that really means a lot to us. So we appreciate you guys.
Keep sharing the link.
Exactly, and follow us on all our social media platforms. The day after TNB. Comment, like our videos. We're also on TikTok. Get us to 1K on there. Send voice notes and text messages in to 075-6484-1073. I saw Jin and just asked about calling tomorrow, right, Ren? Yeah, from tomorrow we'll be able to get back into that as well. If you'd like to inquire about the show, feature on the show, email the team the day after at thenewblack.com. Black is spelled with an X. You should know that by now. And yeah, happy.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course, can.
Just to kind of make it easy for certain people, right? Because basically, I encountered a couple people who thought they joined the day after, but they only joined the New Black community.
I mean, they'll know if they're not watching this live.
Yeah. No, but I mean at the time when I'm saying, have you joined? I'm saying, I've joined it. Look. And I'm like, no, you've joined the community, but you haven't joined the actual show.
Okay.
So people, you have to understand, the New Black is the entire entity. The day after is one of many different shows, many different offerings that's going to be coming from the New Black. So when you join the community, on the left-hand side, top left, there's like 3 horizontal lines. That's like basically your menu. Hit that, go down to shows. You're going to see the day after. Yeah. Go into there, and basically that's where you're going to get all the information. Also, at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, Brent, they can't join the membership via the app. No. So you got to do it online, basically, via the website. Yeah. But once you sort that out, you can then go into the app and everything's there. It's self-explanatory. But yeah, please don't confuse the TMB community with the day after. Yeah. Yeah.
And cool. Emmanuel's going to repeat this tomorrow at the top of the show, as opposed 100%. To when nobody's listening anymore.
Everyone's listening, man. They're dedicated. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think they're listening.
Then we drop gems at the end.
Thank you very much.
Anyway, so every single day we repeat the same thing, right to the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have a lovely Tuesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Later.
Bye.